Hello, beautiful souls. It is Ahimsa here, and if you cannot tell, I am in a completely different area. I have officially moved to my new state. It has been a very hectic time, but at the same time, I'm also giving myself some grace during this time because I am just focused on moving and just getting myself settled here, setting some roots here before I even consider trying to do anything special. With that being said, it is time to do a beautiful pick a card reading for this beautiful month of December. I felt very called to do a pick a card reading topic that has to do with the upcoming year ahead of us. Regardless of where you're at, whatever month you may be watching this, welcome, because we are about to figure that out right now. We're going to be looking into some oracle cards, as you can see over here, as well as tarot, when it comes to what your soul's purpose is going to be for the upcoming year. In order to ensure that you are choosing a pile with groundedness and with stability within you, I do highly recommend that you listen to that guided meditation. The whole purpose of that meditation is to help ground yourself and center yourself so that you can ensure that you are choosing a pile from a place of certainty that it is definitely the pile meant for you, okay? We're going to be kind of splitting up this reading into two separate things. We're going to be seeing what it is that your soul wants to focus on for the upcoming year, but then we're also going to move into how you can embody that more and implement that when that upcoming year comes into fruition for you, or takes full effect, takes full form. Let us definitely get into this, my beautiful loves, and if not, I'll see you at the pile selection portion of this video. All right, lovers, if you are still with me here, we are finally going to move in to the shuffling process of the cards that are actually going to help you be able to select your pile moving forward, okay? And these are the archetype oracle deck cards. I love looking into archetypes, and I feel like this card is going to really capture the full-on essence of what you're meant to embody in terms of what your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year, all right? So let us definitely take a look now for this. Welcome to the grounding and centering portion of today's reading. Before you choose the pile that you're most drawn towards, let's take a moment to ground and center ourselves. Close your eyes if you can, And take a deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs completely. Holding it for a moment at the top, and then slowly exhale through your mouth, releasing any tension or stress you may be holding on to. Feel your body relaxing with each breath. Imagine roots extending from the soles of your feet deep into the earth, anchoring you securely to the ground. Feel the stability and support of the earth beneath you. As you breathe in, visualize a warm, golden light entering through the top of your head, filling your entire body with a sense of calm and peace. This light grounds you, centers you, and connects you to your inner wisdom. In a moment, I will play some tuning fork frequencies to help deepen your relaxation and enhance your connection to your intuition. Simply listen to the sounds and allow them to wash over you, bringing you further into a state of peace and centeredness. Keeping that centered and grounded energy, allow it to guide you as you select the pile you feel most drawn towards. Trust your intuition and let it lead you to the message you need to hear today. Thank you for taking this moment to ground and center yourself. Now, let's begin the reading. Hello, beautiful souls. Hopefully you guys did just come out of that guided meditation, and I hope you guys feel centered, grounded, and ready to select a pile that's coming from a place of self-awareness instead of anxiety and fear-based ways of thinking. With that being said, let us definitely get into helping you see what images are beneath these archetype cards. That way it'll help you be able to select which pile is exactly meant for you in terms of what your soul's purpose is in the upcoming year. For pile number 1, we have the medallion. All right. For pile number 2, we have the bardo. I'm already seeing very different contrasting energies here. All right, and let's continue. For pile number 3, we have the venom. This imagery here is intense. And lastly, for pile number 4, we have the castle. Beautiful. Okay, so if you feel called to, if you need some more time to sit on it, when it comes to selecting the right pile for you, remember there's no right or wrong answer here. You can have 2 piles if you feel drawn towards 2 of them, but at the end of the day, making sure that you are coming from a place of groundedness, rootedness, and centeredness is really what's going to help you be able to select the pile that is really genuinely meant for your soul and for your higher self, your higher awareness, instead of choosing a pile that is aligned with fear. Maybe you might get some mixed messages there. So with that being said, I'm gonna encourage you guys to kind of pause the video here if you need another moment or 2 to select a pile. And if not, I'll meet you in your portion of this video. Hello, pile number 1. I am so excited to be diving into this topic that is all about what it is your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year. When it comes to your card that allowed you to select this pile, the medallion card, honestly, this card has a lot of significance and has a lot of beauty to it because, well, 1, my favorite color is gold. Fun fact about me, I will always prefer gold over silver. But secondly, it is also because it's really about cherishing what you hold valuable to you and honoring those things that hold some sort of significance or has some sort of emphasis in your head for you in particular, what you have passion for, what is something that you hold close to you that you cherish. Like, it could be about core values, it could be about your belief system, but it can also be about your hopes and dreams. When I look at this card in particular, I'm looking at the medallion, and the way that its light is glowing and everything else is dark around it. This is something that brings inspiration, that brings an extra spark to your life, where maybe at one point in life it was hard to see color. This is something in terms of what your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year. Could be something revolving around you reflecting on what is really important to you. Like, what is something that you hold close to your heart that is actually worth you thinking about, that is actually worth your energy to go out and do for yourself. I feel like this has something to do about reassessing something of some kind, a relationship you might have with something or a connection of some significance. I'm not really entirely sure. We're gonna have to keep getting deeper into this in terms of what it could be talking about specifically. Generally, the medallion card, the archetype of it, is about having a material possession that you hold close to your heart that has some significant value to it, like an emblem or a talisman of some kind. But for me, the energy that I'm pulling away from this card is actually interesting. I'm actually sensing some weird stagnant energy coming in. I don't know if it's coming from you guys. I don't know if it's coming from maybe the other cards around this card, but this card technically isn't about stagnancy, which is why it's very intriguing me, because I'm trying to figure out, okay, like, are you guys holding off on something? Are you guys paranoid about something? And maybe in this upcoming year, your soul's purpose is going to be to start implementing and adopting these things more that will actually help you align with what you see to be your own medallion, your own personal medallion in life, if that makes sense. But let us continue and take a look at all these oracle cards that we got out for you in terms of getting some more information. And when it comes to the significance Navigator card, I'm just going to be putting the medallion card right over here for you guys. That way you can see it and I can see it as well. Also, just to preface before we begin, I really appreciate you guys with the patience you guys always give me in these readings. I am still trying to get used to or get accustomed to this new area I have for my readings to take place. I have no clue if this table is going to change or not in the future, so you know, I just appreciate you guys being so patient with me, and I am so excited for this. I feel like this is the perfect time to do some self-reflecting work, and I feel like this reading topic is exactly what can help you do just that. So let us get into it in terms of what your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year, okay? So for the first card that's feeling called to come out, we have one of the first astrology cards in my oracle deck pile for y'all, and it is Imum Coli. This is actually the first time I'm seeing this card. The number 38 is standing out to me. And the reason for that, 8 and 3 equals 11. A new beginning of some kind that has to do with something that you hold very close to your heart, something that you feel like kind of defines you as a person. Whatever this is that's going to be manifesting this new beginning that's going to be happening for you in the upcoming year, it is going to have a lot to do with what you will define yourself with in the upcoming year. It feels as if this is going to be something that will... Okay, this is weird. So I'm hearing it's something that's going to help remind you of your why. I don't know what it is for. Maybe this is just a very specific channel message that is not meant to make sense to me, but it is meant to make sense to you. So I'm hearing that whatever this new beginning is, it's going to help remind you of your why. That's the first thing that's coming through. And the second thing that is coming through is a realization of some kind that you're going to be having in this upcoming year, or maybe moving into, like, before the year begins, but like maybe moments before this new year starts for you. I am hearing like there's going to be some weird cause and effect thing that may have occurred that you're going to be reflecting on, that's going to help bring some clarity to what your true medallion is going to be in the upcoming year. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm just rolling with the punches and what source wants me to channel, okay guys? But let us continue. And if I did not mention it already, the number in Roman numeral here for your significator card is the number 59. So maybe 5-9 has some sort of significance to you. But when I think of the number 5 and I think of the number 9 together, I also think of the number 14, which also equals 5 as well. So I am feeling like whatever this is going to be in terms of the upcoming year, your soul and the purpose of it for the upcoming year has something to do with a change of some kind. There's going to be a switch up. And I think that's also aligning with the number 11 with 8 plus 3 here, because it is a new beginning in terms of uncharted territory that you have yet to explore. That's the exciting part here, but there's also some anxiety here as well. When I think about the energy that I'm channeling stagnancy, hesitancy, but I'm also channeling a completely different energy of like, we gotta go do it, we gotta go get it, I gotta go get this done now. And it feels like you're kind of in the mid, like you're in between those two things, stagnancy and like anxiousness, anticipation to go, do. And when you put those things together, it creates someone who kind of acts as if they're frozen in time because they are sort of freezing their own selves up because of how important this thing might be. It might create stagnancy, not because you want there to be stagnancy, not because you're trying to procrastinate in any way, shape, or form, but it's more like it feels as if you guys are in that starting position at the beginning of a race. Whether it's like a sprinting race, it feels like a sprinting race. I don't know why that's so specific, but it feels like you guys are in that starting position before the whistle blows. And you're kind of bracing yourself for impact of some kind. Again, I'm just channeling what I'm seeing in my head, the visions I'm having right now. But let us definitely keep going and continue on with the rest of your oracle cards. So for the next card, we have number 9 with Sagittarius, and that subtext with the word expand. This is literally confirming to me. Guys, this is so funny. I was looking at your archetype card hard, okay, before I started recording this. And when I was looking at the number 59, I kept picturing Sagittarius energy because 9 is all about newness and exploration and self-discovery, but also philosophy and like figuring out those things that you hold close to your heart. There's an extra flair in terms of this discovery energy that the ninth house can provide. And with Sagittarius coming up, I feel like it's kind of adding more confirmation to the storyline that I'm already creating in my head about this and where this reading might take us. It is just confirming to me that this has something to do with a new beginning that is going to revolve around you figuring out your true why. It's going to have something to do with you realizing in this upcoming year what your soul's purpose actually is. Like, you're in this process of understanding, yes, I like this, I don't like that, maybe I like that. How can I mix all these things and do my thing? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you guys are in this weird process of creating this new version of you that you have yet to really get to know. Maybe this is new to you. For some reason, really random, something just came up with mommy issues. I don't know what that means. Maybe you have an issue, some issue with your mom, or you don't have a mother figure in your life, or just some weird mom issue thing came up in my head. That was like a random thing I'm going to keep to the side because that has nothing to do with this reading right now. At least maybe the tarot cards will provide more insight in that, but let us continue. For a Prism Oracle card, we have Caution, next up we have, upside down, Sweetness, you guys can't see that. Let me just move these cards in a little bit more. For the Sacred Travelers deck card, we have Reaching Your Destination. Your light is shining bright. This, for some reason, is reminding me of the Medallion card. What's interesting here, the Reaching Your Destination card is ringing bells in my head with what I just shared about you having a realization of some kind. Like, you're gonna have a huge breaking point in this upcoming year that will add emphasis into what your soul's purpose actually is meant to be. Again, I feel like these are giving us little hints, breadcrumbs, for what exactly your soul's purpose is. I don't feel like it's just one designated thing, that's for sure. Let us keep going, keeping my thoughts to myself. For the final Prism Oracle card that you guys got, you have Peace. And for the last two cards, again, I gotta move this somewhere else. Actually, let's leave this here, and I will just adjust the camera after we finish revealing the rest of your oracle cards. For a Sacred Creator card, for your second to last card, pile number 1, we have Ambush Fear with Your Ferocious Dream. This is, again, adding confirmation to that Sagittarius energy, the expansion subtext that was in that card. And this is also reminding me of the Imum Coli card in the astrology deck, because this is just reminding me of reminding yourself the truth of what you're trying to attain. You're kind of reassessing why you started something in the first place, or what this really was meaning for you. Why did it have such a big impact? Why did it have such a big significance in your heart? You're kind of asking yourself a little bit more questions. Right now, you might be in some weird introspective state right now, currently, as you're watching this video. When I also look at this card, it's also giving me this energy of wisdom. Well, I'm looking at the elephant, right? But when I think of elephants, I also think of the energy of Sagittarius, because they're mighty, but Sagittarius energy is about having an open-minded essence to things. What I mean by this is they are willing to explore the uncharted territories that haven't been touched yet. And when they explore those things after their voyage, when they return, they have a lot of wisdom that they gain through those experiences. Elephants never forget. When you look at the imagery of the elephant, I think of elephants never forget, and I think of that extra wisdom, energy, and essence of Sagittarius, because their experiences, they like to experience things hands-on. hands-on. This is a typical Sag energy. I'm not saying if you guys are Sagittarius watching this, like this is you 100%. You have to look at the rest of your natal chart, obviously. But what I am saying is that like the typical Sagittarius, just a Sag, no rising, no moon, just a Sag vibe. They love to go hands-on into things and just kind of dive right in. When it says ambush fear with your ferocious dream, this is also bringing more emphasis to that energy that I told you earlier with your significator card here, the medallion. You are kind of going through a reflective process of realizing what it is that you really want to go take charge for. And when I say take charge, it's that imagery I was picturing, someone at a starting line in a sprint race, and you're at that starting position. You know, you got one foot back and you're ready to go off. I don't really know how to explain it, because like I said, it felt like that weird stagnancy, but it's because you're in the starting position. There's no momentum yet, but it's gonna build once this year begins. There's a preparation. You're in the preparation stages of a huge, like swift movement of some kind, or big risk, something that is going to kind of change the trajectory of where you might be at right now. In terms of what your soul's purpose is, this is part of it. It's part of you having a huge awakening moment. This could also be indicating a spiritual awakening of some kind, but some sort of awakening. You're waking up to your truth. You're waking up to what it is that led you on this excursion in the first place. You're waking up to the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning. You're realizing where the light is and where the darkness is, and you're starting to be able to differentiate between those things. This could also be an indicator to me that maybe you are somebody who says yes to things a little bit too much, and you're in a process of learning what to say yes to and what to say no to. Maybe you are a little bit of a people pleaser, and that's something you're also trying to overcome as well. For some reason, fear of rejection is running through my head. It's not really being indicated to me in the cards. It's more so just something that I'm channeling in my head. I also just realized the number 51 is here in this card that came out for you, and 51 adds to the number 6, and 6 is the energy of Virgo, the 6th house, being of service to others and wanting to help make the world a better place, but by also kind of, in a way, using a lot of your own energy to do that. One other thing in terms of interpretations for what your soul's purpose is for the upcoming year could also be that you're learning how to say no. You're learning how to set boundaries for yourself. You're learning how to focus on you again, because you were always giving your energy out to everyone else. Because I do see in this process, I don't know exactly when in the year this is going to happen, but I am seeing a very strong vision in my head, pile number 1, where you're going to be able to come to a place where you can breathe and not need to worry about something in the back of your mind. It feels like you don't know what that feels like, or I don't remember the last time you felt like you can just kind of breathe and relax and feel kind of mute or hear static in your head, if that makes sense. Like, at least this is how I'm feeling, and I'm channeling this energy of somebody who just doesn't know how to turn off their brain because they feel like they can't. They're in a position where they have a lot of things that they need to juggle, or they have a lot of responsibilities or obligations that they got to take care of, and it's hard for them to be able to settle within themselves because they always feel on edge because of everything that they got to handle and tackle and all this and that. This is weird. I don't know how to explain it. Another very specific channel message that's coming through that might not make sense to everybody. There's something that you do that kind of is taking a toll on your mental health right now, and okay, I don't know whose guide is coming through right now. Pile number 1, just to warn you, this guide has a little bit of an attitude. It's a little bit, I'm saying he, so maybe it's a he. There's a masculine energy to it. They are a little bit big-mouthed. I don't know if they're just a confrontational guide, but there's this energy of like, you can't cry wolf over this mental health issue because you're the one creating it to yourself. This isn't something that you deal with because of someone else's actions. You're doing it to yourself. So you're the one that is responsible for having caused it to yourself, but also you're the one responsible for being able to put an end to it. Disclaimer, I am just the messenger sharing what is being channeled, okay? So do not come at me in the comments. But that just was something that felt like it wanted to come out, so I just shared it. And for the very last oracle card, my beautiful pile number 1, we have great adventure. Oh my God, take a risk, venture forward. Guys, I'm literally telling you, this is about a voyage. You're literally about to take off in something. I kept picturing an adventure. You guys are on some huge excursion. You are realizing something. And in order to actually go on it, you have to fight the fear and realize that the fear might always be there, but it's what you choose to use the fear for in your life. It could be something that can help propel you to get what you want. If you keep recognizing where you're at now isn't where you want to be forever, maybe that's why it feels like you're in this weird preparation stage right now. In terms of preparation, pile number one, I'm not necessarily feeling like you guys have actually like taken the physical, tangible steps to write this down or make a literal visual plan or layout on how you're going to tackle this or do it, but it feels more like a mental preparation. Like you might still have a very busy schedule and you still have time where you're kind of randomly daydreaming, whether it's like, let's say you're like on a bathroom break at work and you're just on the toilet and sorry if it's TMI, you're just on the toilet and you just randomly like, it's unintentional, it's subconscious like preparation where your mind kind of just wanders off into this other reality and into this other positive what if for yourself, a what if that is very beautiful. I feel like when I picture that what if, it's a safe haven that you can actually turn into your reality in the upcoming year. I feel like this is a message that's kind of steering us in this direction of what are you going to do about it with this safe haven that you dream for yourself. It doesn't need to be a dream, but in order for it to be anything more than a dream, you need to actually take the steps to do it because it's kind of in your subconscious right now. When I think of the term homunculi, this is also in reference to the fourth house in your chart in astrology. And the fourth house, yes, it's about your home and your roots and your family and your ancestry, and it's about like your sacred space, all those things. But even deeper than that, homunculi is about a part of you that you identify with strongly. It's a part of you that if like you had to make a talisman to symbolize where you come from, in terms of where you come from, it could be like beliefs, it could be all those things. That would be the energy of homunculi. I feel like you're learning how to prepare by maybe even trying to turn yourself into your own safe haven that you can come back to so that you can take off on this journey. Everyone watching this reading so far, everyone is going to be like in a different point in their journey. So just make sure that you do cherry pick what resonates and leave what doesn't, okay? It just feels as if you guys are rebuilding yourselves so that there's a foundation so strong that nothing can really break it. So that when you start whatever this goal is or this journey that you're going to begin in this upcoming year, it is unbreakable, you are undefeatable, and you can make those goals for yourself come true. Your focus, your focal point with what your soul wants you to focus on has a lot to do with digging yourself out of some sort of hole or debt. When I say debt, I'm not picturing like financial debt, but you feel like you're in debt to something. Like you feel like you have to do things when it's actually a choice to do them. It's like I'm hearing in my head like you say, I have to do this, I have to do that, or I need to do that. You're being encouraged in the upcoming year to shift that dialogue or that train of thought, way of thinking or saying things out loud. And instead of saying I have to or I need to, you could say I choose to, I want to, because at the end of the day, the choice is up to you. And I think that's also why that mental health random note came up earlier, that other channel message I had, because it does feel like there's something that needs to be broken so that this new beginning can happen. And you are in a process of reflecting inside yourself. Shout out to my pal number ones for being in this process of revisiting these things within themselves, because when it comes to self-growth, self-development, and all those beautiful words, it is very hard for an individual to go inside themselves and be brutally honest. And I feel like you guys are really trying to do this. This is randomly channel message, might not resonate with everybody, but I am hearing that some of you guys have actually tried to do this in the past before, and it was very, very new to you. But because of the time you did it, you kind of understand how to do it this time around better. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm just sharing what I'm hearing in my head, guys. With that being said, pile number one, let us take a look at the tarot cards and just see what else we have in store for you and see if we can put everything together in terms of what your soul's higher purpose or true purpose is for this upcoming year. I'm just getting the cards set up so we have space. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Pile number one, I'm going to move all your oracle cards to this side. because I want to make space for your tarot cards to come into play. Please shoot me a comment down below. Actually, I would love to hear your input on this, just because I am trying to make these videos as easily readable and visible as possible for you guys. And so I've been kind of experimenting in the last couple pick a card readings that I've uploaded on whether or not I should zoom in more or zoom out more, because I want you guys to really be able to read the words on the cards themselves as you're listening to this reading, so you guys can really see what I'm also dissecting on the screen. So right now, just because of how close up I do have everything, it's very likely that some of the words are going to seem a little bit fuzzy. Shoot me a comment down below and let me know if you guys prefer me keeping things zoomed in moving forward for the next pick a card readings to come in the future, or zoomed out, because I want you guys to also be able to see all the cards I have laid out for you guys in total, but then that also means it's going to be hard to see everything. So just let me know. I am going to zoom out right now just because I want you guys to be able to see everything. And hopefully you guys are still able to read the wording. But with that, we're definitely going to be diving in to your tarot cards now. So we are going to be using the Good Tarot deck for your reading. And the reason why I felt called to use that deck for this reading in particular is because this reading is about figuring out what your soul's purpose is for this upcoming year. And in order to do that, we need to look at the growth aspects to it. And this deck, this artist, they made the focal point to be all about self-growth, self-development, and just true healing in life. Even the negative cards in tarot that are meant to be seen as very not so positive, they created this deck where you can see the positive in every single card, and it provides a different perspective, a different approach to it that I feel like is very tailored and aligned for what this video topic, this pick a card reading, is all about. So I just wanted to share that with you guys in case you guys get a little bit confused when I do the reading. Let us definitely dive into this. So what is pile number one's soul's purpose in the upcoming year? For the back of the deck energy, in terms of the what your soul's purpose is for the upcoming year, we have the Nine of Air, also known as the Nine of Swords. And what's interesting here, right? So when you think of the Nine of Swords in a normal tarot deck, Rider-Smith tarot deck, the Nine of Swords has a depiction of someone who is lying in bed and they feel trapped in their thoughts. Okay, they're overwhelmed. And what's interesting here, see the beauty, the positive look at this is releasing those things so that you can move forward. And that's why I love the symbolism here, because you see all these beautiful doves flying around, this being in the middle of the imagery. And what's funny, right? We have the peace card here. So this is adding emphasis to that. And again, we have the number 9, which is adding even more emphasis to the number. Well, the 9 was here in your significator card, and also to Sagittarius, the 9th house. And I kept hearing 9th house energy when I was staring and meditating on your significator card before I even started this video for you guys. So this is just really like adding into it. I'm smiling so hard if you guys can't hear it through my voice. I am just so excited to see what's in here, because I have a feeling that this message is going to be very impactful for anybody watching moving forward. I'm just gonna leave your back of the deck energy here and let us start flipping over your tarot cards right now. Let me just make sure these cards are a little straight for anyone who is obsessed with things being straight and nice in order. Oh my God, this candle quartz needs to stay still. All right, I did the best I could, okay? Let's move in. For the first tarot card, we have pile number 1, the 3 of Air. Also known as the 3 of Swords. Next up, we have The Fool card. Oh my god, guys. Literally new beginning. New beginning, new beginning, new beginning all the way. Again, adding emphasis to great adventure and take a risk. And the 11, where was that here? The 8 through 38. Yes, it's you're uprooting to, and it hurts, it sucks, but it's an uprooting that's necessary so that you can reroot yourself in a better soil. That's, I hope, I'm very metaphorical, warning. But let us keep going. I'm gonna keep thoughts to myself until we get all the cards flipped over here. Third card we have for you is Fortune's Wheel, also known as the Wheel of Fortune, the number 10 ending of some kind, and fortune is on your side. This Wheel of Fortune card is beautiful. Wow. A shift in your trajectory. Again, everything that I channeled earlier in your reading so far, pile number 1, is just coming to fruition on these cards. It's so trippy seeing how everything is aligning. Next card we have for you is the Patience card, also known as Temperance in traditional tarot deck. Trying to make her focus. And your last card is the 9 of Water, also known as the 9 of Cups. This is so beautiful. I'm so happy for you guys. This is such a remarkable reading already. I can tell you that 100%. I know that it feels like where you guys are at is kind of crazy. It doesn't feel like good energy that you guys are in right now. And maybe that's why there was hesitancy that I was channeling earlier. What I do want to let you know, pile number 1, whatever it is that created this pain for you, it left because it wasn't part of your forever story. It wasn't part of your legacy that you're gonna leave in life. The things that people will remember you for, that wasn't part of it. And so I know it's painful, but this experience, it feels like you're tying loose ends up right now. You're clearing all the skeletons away in your closet so that you can, in the upcoming year, can kind of start anew. That's how it kind of feels like right now. At least that's the energy I'm picturing. Because of that, you gotta remember right now that all of this is something that was necessary. It was very, very, very necessary because you're actually freeing yourself from an experience or from some sort of person, place, or thing that was holding you back from obtaining the true things you really seek for in your overall life experience. You are a person whose soul is always hungry for growth and expansion. Whatever this was, it gave you a sprinkle of that. It gave you a taste of what some expansion can be like, but it wasn't the full picture of what you really were seeking. Like maybe you left a bad taste in your mouth, if that makes sense. It's like you're tying up loose ends in your head to reassure yourself, or maybe this reading could be part of that preparation. Like you're trying to get some extra reassurance in terms of where this is leading you is accurate and that it is aligned for your highest good, which it is, spoiler alert. And again, I forgot to mention, back of the deck was 9. The number that ends your reading here in terms of what your soul's purpose is in the upcoming year is a 9. And we got the Sagittarius card of 9. So 9 is all over your reading, pile number 1. So maybe 9 might have some significance to you. Maybe this experience might have started in the month of September. What you're experiencing right now is temporary. Remember that. I feel like a part of you knows that. You're a very smart person. I don't want to beat around the bush in this reading. It doesn't feel like you deserve that. I don't know, maybe you've actually tried to do a couple pick a card readings before clicking on this video and it felt like they were kind of just telling you what you wanted to hear, or they were telling you that typical information and guidance, but they weren't giving you like the juicy stuff. And it feels like this reading, you want the juicy stuff, but you already heard that this is good for you and you already heard that this is a temporary pain. This isn't the first time you've been told this. Sorry guys, just give me a moment as I meditate on these cards a little bit further. What I am hearing here, pile number 1, your soul's purpose in the upcoming year has a lot to do with you reshaping yourself into the version of you that you've always wanted to be. This is a part of you that was very evident during your childhood, at least. Maybe you had a very big imagination, or in general, you just have a very big heart. Because you have a very big heart, it means that you can be quite open-minded with people, quite welcoming with different types of personalities and stuff like that. And what I mean by this is you got like that southern hospitality type of energy where you are very open and welcoming to just different people of different backgrounds with different histories or different attitudes, just different styles of being a human. That is something that's brought some beautiful experiences for you, maybe some beautiful connections, but it's also brought you some pretty painful ones too. You always try to see the brighter side of things. That's something that was there when you were a kid. That is something that is kind of rooted in who you are. It's kind of rooted in your DNA. And no matter how hard you try to stray away from that way of thinking, it's like you overthink it. And you're an overthinker because this natural piece of you, that big heart you have, is there. And it's always been there since you were a kid. So no matter how many times you've been hurt, at least up to this point in your life, it's kind of like the overthinking, the anxiety that you believe you possess. I'm not a doctor, okay? I'm not diagnosing anybody, disclaimer, okay? I am just a reader and this is just for entertainment purposes only. Just saying that it feels like you guys may have adopted some sort of mental health ailment for yourselves and you identify with it very strongly. I feel like some of you guys believe that you have a lot of anxiety and you deal with it on a day-to-day basis. Maybe you deal with burnout because of it as well. You shut down easily because you kind of think so hard that your brain's just like, nope, battery's depleted now. To those people that's listening, the reason why it developed, at least from what I'm hearing in my head, okay? Again, I'm not a doctor, but what I am hearing in my head is it developed because your heart is just so big and that's something you can't just like run away from, and it's hard to turn ice cold because you still have those good people in your life, but you do have negative experiences. You try to keep your heart open and warm for the people that are still there in your life that do deserve that, but it kind of hurts at the same time because when you meet new things or have new experiences and you're not sure what it's going to bring because your heart is just so big, that's just naturally how it is. It creates a battle between your mind and your heart because your mind, your brain is built for your survival, right? So it uses everything that you've experienced in your past to help you determine the best rational choice or decisions to make in your pathway moving forward. But your heart, it just sees love. It believes in unconditional love and it wants you to follow those things that bring you that true emotional fulfillment where you can find that true inner peace. Because of that, I feel like some sort of anxiety got developed within you. I don't know when that started, but I feel like it's still there. Ever since you started to experience some negative experiences, this is why you feel always so torn. You might be a very indecisive person naturally. You know, when you have a menu filled with thousands of different options on what to eat, you're like, oh my God, I don't know what the hell to eat. Because you're so open to change, but you're also terrified of change at the same time. Because of this contrastingness in who you are, it created anxiety. And this anxiety is the thing that I think I'm feeling that stagnancy and hesitant like energy from that I was channeling at the beginning of your reading, because the Nine of Swords is this energy of somebody who's doing that. They are such a smart person. When I think of the Nine of Swords energy, whenever I see the Nine of Swords pop up in someone's reading, I know for a fact that who's ever listening to it is a gifted, intelligent, very emotionally intelligent person. And the reason why I say this is because if your brain can run that fast and shut you down that easily, it is because you are thinking about every single possible different outcome, every single possible different facet to this. You're trying to reason with yourself this, you're trying to understand this and that. You're trying to put those puzzle pieces together. On the outside, it might just look like you're there like thinking, just sitting still, when in reality you're doing thousands of things in your head and it must be exhausting to do all the time. I relate to you guys heavily, by the way, because I do that as well. I have a very big heart, do the same thing. That is something that you can overcome because it is something that you can train yourself to overcome. Your soul's purpose in this upcoming year, pile number 1, feels as if you are being encouraged to keep reminding yourself. And if you feel like you have done other pick a card readings in the past where it said this to you already, and I'm about to say it again, it is because this is trying to tell you, like literally Source is trying to show you to your face that this is something you are meant to overcome. So if it's hard to hear it, I'm sorry, but it's something you gotta hear. If it keeps coming up, it's something you gotta hear. I'm literally picturing people like just getting annoyed and sighing when I'm about to say this. You need to understand, you already understand, that this is an experience that was meant to help you grow. This wasn't meant to be in your life forever. What this is, what this pain, this revelation, it brought a lot of clarity and truth to the surface. It's hard to see that because you're so focused on the thing that's hurt. or hurt you or ended abruptly. Whatever this was, it wasn't a pleasant experience. The unpleasant feelings that this experience brought up inside you has kind of allowed fear to try to take over your life experience right now. So it feels like you're in some sort of inner battle with yourself where you're at in life listening to this reading. It feels like maybe it's been an ongoing inner battle, but it feels as if you guys are trying to really recenter yourselves so that moving forward in your life, you can ensure that you are making choices or decisions aligned with your highest good or for your true emotional fulfillment. Your soul's purpose in this upcoming year is to focus on yourself and your own personal goals. You've been so focused on giving everyone the benefit of the doubt. It feels as if you are like that friend that people will come to when they're doubting themselves because they know you're like that hype me up friend. You're that hype me up person that can help someone who's not feeling good about themselves feel a little bit better. You put smile on people's faces. This experience was like one of those other experiences where you've gotten hurt. It doesn't feel like this is something that's brand new. It feels like this is a familiar pain, and it maybe just kind of pulled at that area in your heart a little bit harder because it reopened that wound. It felt like the wound closed and now it reopened because of this experience that happened, and you're trying to navigate through it. This isn't the first time you've experienced this type of pain before. However, there's a difference to it. It feels like you're trying to make sure that this is the last time you experience this type of pain for yourself. And so in the upcoming year, I'm also looking up at my camera and I just realized 111 is here. Oh my God. Yep. We have 11111. Okay. 111, new beginning. I just got a confirmation. Happy for you guys because you guys are also number pile 1. So 1, new beginnings. It's all over your reading. You're like learning how to ensure that this outcome that you've experienced is the last time you experience something like this for yourself. Like you're trying to learn how to reset boundaries and be more firm with yourself and focus more on you. And you want a new beginning where you are just genuinely aligned for just you. Like you're all in it for you right now and you want to be. And maybe you're trying to mentally prepare yourself for the upcoming year so that you can set it in stone and make that the intention for the upcoming year moving forward, because you want to be more cautious. Instead of just giving everything the benefit of the doubt, you want to learn how to let the fear be there, but you want to like befriend it. Like you want to say, hi, thank you anxiety for being here, but I don't want to let you run my life. I also don't want to agree to things all the time just because I have such a big heart that it feels hard for me to say no. You're trying to learn, like you're in this process of learning how to be okay with those thoughts. Like, okay, a thought that pops up of a what if is here, but I'm not gonna let it rule over my life. Like you're trying to learn how to befriend that anxiety, and you're also trying to learn how to befriend your big heart, and you're trying to learn how to see if you can make those things work together to your favor so that in the upcoming year your soul's purpose is going to be about just what I just said, but also learning how to focus living a life that's aligned with your highest purpose and your most healed version of yourself. When I look at the 9 of water here, pile number 1 next to patience, there's this energy in terms of what your soul's purpose is in the upcoming year that's just kind of re-emphasizing that medallion like energy in this archetype card. It's showing to me that you're in this process, like I said, reflecting to figure out what truly aligns with you and what truly doesn't align with you. You know that you have a big heart, and I feel like you're proud of it, but it also can be bittersweet at the same time. That's why you're learning how to set some boundaries. I feel like when it comes to this upcoming year, your soul's purpose is going to be all about just loving yourself a little bit more and doing it in a way that you know will help you be a little bit more protected so that people don't have that much power over you, or things or experiences don't have much power over you. It's like you're learning how not to let the pain take over you. And when something happens that can be so drastic, because sometimes we can't control these things, they can just hit us in the face unexpectedly. It's like you're learning how to handle things with more grace. Like think of a queen, okay? Think of a queen that knows how to hold herself and maintain composure and breathe through the intense moments, but also knows how to lead her own life. She didn't become a queen for no reason. She had to earn that, and she had to earn the name of people being able to call her that too. You know, a person won't call someone a queen unless they truly believe that they are worthy of that title. You're trying to practice learning how to be that for yourself and see yourself in that light. And this is that thing that maybe, yes, you may have experienced this type of pain before in your past, but you're trying to really ensure that this is the last time you're experiencing it for good. It feels like you've always used your own free will for other people's growth in life, and it feels like this time, at least in the upcoming year, like you really want to focus on doing it for you. Moving forward, that's decisions you choose to make. It's like you're trying to ask yourself before you even agree to them. With the caution card here, it feels like you're going to learn how to take a step back before agreeing to things or fully committing. It's like you're learning how to find a balance between focusing on you and focusing on others, so that way you can really get to figure out what it is you truly want to go venture out on in terms of a life experience. It's like you're reshaping your values for them to become what you really want to embody moving forward, because it feels like you're stripping yourself away from the old way of thinking or some old belief systems you might have had, and you're really just reassessing it all so that when this upcoming year is here in front of you, you kind of know how you want to set forth in it. The Reaching Your Destination card and the Nine of Cups. This is a wish fulfillment card, okay, in a typical tarot. Reaching your destination, your light is shining brightly. I feel like this is confirming the energy that if you have any doubts about whether or not what you're doing is a good idea, because like I said, your head and heart loves to like mess with you. Remind yourself why it didn't happen all the other times, because it feels like there's some sort of pattern. You know what the pattern is. I feel like you've already called yourself out on it, but you need a little bit of a reminder. And so maybe even writing it down outside of yourself will help, because it feels like you just keep trying to replay it in your head, and all that's doing is just kind of shutting your brain down to be able to focus on some other things that needs your attention right now to help you be able to really make sure that your soul's purpose in the upcoming year can take full effect once that new year begins for you. So with that in mind, pile number one, we're gonna take a look and shuffle the cards a little bit further and just kind of see the how, in terms of how you can embody your soul's purpose in the upcoming year. Let's take a look. I feel like I've already listed out some of the things in terms of the how, but I want to go a little bit further and dive into that a little bit deeper. So I'm going to keep the back of the deck card for the first portion of your reading here in terms of the what, and I'm going to move these cards slightly up a little bit higher, and we're going to make space for your final 5 tarot cards in terms of how you can embody your soul's purpose in the upcoming year. All right, so how can pile number one embody their soul's purpose for the upcoming year? For the back of the deck energy for the second portion of your reading in terms of how you can embody your soul's purpose for the upcoming year, or this upcoming year, is the Ace of Earth, also known as the Ace of Pentacles in traditional tarot. And again, this confirms what I told you earlier. It's about putting tangible steps and taking it out of your head. You're in your head a little bit too much about what you want to do, but you need to actually write it down, brainstorm, turn it into something tangible that you can look at in the physical world, so that you're not just repeating it and replaying it over and over in your head with no actual physical thing to have the intention on it for. I feel like I already know what I want to tell you in terms of a suggestion, but I'm gonna leave that suggestion and keep it to myself until we get all these cards flipped over, because maybe that suggestion is going to lead into something even more deeper once we have all the cards flipped over. So for the first card, when it comes to how you can embody your soul's purpose in this upcoming year, and also clarifying the Three of Air, we have the Messenger of Water, also known as the Knight of Cups in traditional tarot. Next up, we have the Seven of Water, also known as the Seven of Cups. Next up, we have the King of Earth, aka King of Pentacles. Yes, this is 100% something that you have experienced before. This isn't a pain that is your first time feeling something like this. It feels like you got disappointed. Like your hopes were up about something and or your hopes got let down, and maybe you're used to that, which kind of sucks, right? But let's keep going. Next up, you have the Messenger of Air, Knight of Swords. It feels like dark, like the card looks dark. I'm trying to figure out why it's so dark. I'm trying to keep the light on it so you guys can see the imagery. And for the last card, in terms of how you can embody your soul's purpose in this upcoming year, also clarifying the Nine of Cups, Nine of Water, we have the, sorry, I was trying to make sure that was a 3 or an 8. The Three of Water. Okay, this is giving me some more context in terms of what it is you got let down out about, aka Three of Cups. You only got one ace card, pile number 1, which is the back of the deck energy for the how you can embody it. So pile number 1, when it comes to how you can embody this for yourself, it gave me confirmation. It is a vision board. That is a suggestion I'm going to give you guys for something that you can do to help embody this, because it does feel like you need something tangible to look at where you have the plan laid out for you. If you guys are visual people and you need that extra inspiration to keep guiding you, this is something where you need to lead with your heart about, because your heart is the thing that's guiding you to your true inner peace in the end. And in order to really experience this energy, right? This Nine of Swords, it's so depicted in a positive light because she's actually releasing all those overthinking, intrusive thoughts. She's not letting them control her. She's acknowledging that they are part of her, but she's not letting them take over. And that's the beauty with this card, because she also has wings. You can decide to allow those things take over your life and dictate your actions, or you can let them just be like clouds moving in the sky, being there, acknowledging them, thanking them for trying to protect you, but you got this and you could take care of yourself type of thing. It just feels like you're learning how to do that. And it's gonna take time, which is absolutely fine. But when it comes to embodying it, I said the vision board, because that is something that I have adopted a practice of doing. Whenever I feel called to, really, I let my soul kind of guide me on that. I'm a visual person. I love seeing the things that remind me of why I started something or what my intention was when I created this. I look at that vision board and I see, oh yeah, like this is why, this is what I want to embody, whatever. You can make really vision boards for any type of reason. I do it for setting intentions and for self-growth and just seeing where I want to be. With the Ace of Earth being the back of the deck here, in terms of how you can embody this, is kind of telling me that you are being encouraged to do something that aligns well with you and do something that you know you can come back to that is physical, that can be a safe haven for you. So if it is a vision board, that could be one. Another thing that I am also hearing could be journaling. If you like journaling, it has to be something that you do enjoy doing. The reason why I'm saying that is because the Messenger of Water is here at the very beginning in terms of how you can embody it. You need a kindred-like energy in order to make sure that this isn't something you experience all over again, like that pain you had. You need to look at it at a different perspective where something good can come out of it. And there is a lot of goodness around this ending that you just experienced. As painful as it was, pile number 1, it is necessary to help you align with the thing that you're truly wanting and seeking in your overall life experience, like I told you earlier in this reading. The message is still there. It could be a friendship. It could be like seeking like-minded people. It could be something to have something to do with people in general, people that have let you down and you wish that you can find the right people that align with your frequency that you've always wanted. It just does feel though as if you are being called to ensure that you don't do this again, that you don't fall for that trap of being hopeful without being cautious at the same time. Like you can still have a hopeful attitude when it comes to new experiences, but you can also be smart and strategic at the same time. So when the anxiety is there and you're unsure whether or not you should follow through with something, maybe that's just your shadow self trying to protect you, to make sure that that pain that you just experienced recently doesn't happen again, by making sure that you do something a little bit different. You tweak this method of how you used to do it so that you don't keep doing the same thing and it becomes a pattern, a cycle of just pain. Because Wheel of Fortune, the wheel in itself is a cycle, right? And it feels like this is something that you've had your ups and downs with in your life journey. You're learning how to break away from it so you have a new beginning. You're learning how to break away from maybe overcommitting to things or being that people pleaser like I shared with you earlier. It just feels like you're learning how to say no so that you can say yes to the things that you actually align with on a spiritual level, on a deep, passionate, emotional level. Your heart wants to guide you on this journey. Your heart can definitely guide you, definitely guide you. Your mind right now might be trying to play tricks on like, this is the end and that this is all there was and there's nothing more moving forward. But that's just your brain in shock right now because of what you've just experienced recently. But if you can keep going back to that thing that has been there since you were a kid, that big heart of yours, pile number one, and remember you can use that to your advantage right now to remember that there's always a bigger reasoning behind why these things happen. If this let you down, it's because there's something better and you're leveling up. This was meant to end or happen for you. It felt like you were torn away from something, or it's either like it tore you apart on the inside or it tore you away from something. And I said like you had your hopes up about it and you got disappointed or something. You had expectations in the first place originally with whatever this thing that let you down because you already were in this process of trying to learn how to love yourself and align with what truly matters to you, your core values and all that. Because of that, you kind of did that onto yourself. Like when we set expectations in life, we have to also be aware that we're setting the acknowledgement that we can also get disappointed in the end. Like we need to be okay with getting disappointed because if we have an expectation, we in turn are also saying in a way to the universe that I'm okay if I get disappointed and that my expectations aren't met. You're opening that space up to get potentially disappointed with because we can't know everything in life. And that's why free will exists, right? Especially when it has to do with people in our life because we can't control their free will. You know, that's on them. What they choose to do in their life is up to them. You know what I mean? Since you're creating your own destiny, it's like you did that experience because you got your hopes down, because you set them there in the first place. You didn't look at this experience with open eyes and an open heart and say, oh my God, like, I don't know what there is, but it's exciting. But you wanted to believe that it was good. Believing that it was good, you got disappointed in the end. Your heart, though, is the thing that can help keep you from believing that there's no other good thing in life. It feels like also that it had to happen because you're kind of leveling up without realizing it in life. It feels like your frequency is in this type of transitioning energy. It feels like I said to you earlier, preparation stages, you are still preparing for this bigger shifts in your life. It's gonna help you align with what you're seeking, that wish fulfillment energy, the reaching your destination here. Like it's there and you're preparing yourself for it, but that also means that you're letting go of those things that don't serve you anymore without really realizing it. You know, maybe your energy shifted. And if this did involve a person, your energy shifted with the person and that person didn't enjoy that energy shift. So, you know, ultimately in the end, it was necessary for you two to separate or go away from each other because you guys just weren't on the same level anymore. And that's just a normal part of cycle of life. That's why you got to shift your perspective on it. I feel like you know this already though, so let's continue because in terms of how you can embody it, it is just really telling me that you need to do something tangible. So maybe the journaling will help. You got to do something where it takes the thought of it, when you keep repeating the scenario in your head over and over. How can you take that out of your head and put it onto something tangible? Whether it is like a vision board to look back at, remind yourself who you're trying to embody. So whenever you're feeling this pain of like, oh, should I have stayed in that old energy or whatever, you look at that vision board and you remind yourself, oh, well, this is why, because this is what I really want. Like you need something that can keep reminding you of the goal, your ultimate goal for yourself. I just realized the medallion gives me more confirmation on that because the medallion archetype card itself has something to do with a talisman, something that you hold really close to your heart, but it's a physical, tangible thing. Maybe the vision board can be that physical, tangible thing for yourself. Vision boards aren't that hard. I use Pinterest and I just look up like little things that I love doing, or you can look up like term and then aesthetic, like those cool artsy pictures. I have so many vision boards. I plan on making a video to share all my vision boards, but I'm gonna wait until that actually gets requested because, you know, I got a lot and I don't want to like be like, oh my God, here's all my vision boards to you guys without some sort of warning or preparation for it. When it comes to into a vision board, it can really be whatever you want. Make it beautiful, make it artsy. I feel like you have a childlike spirit to you that can really be of really good benefit when it comes to creating something as beautiful and unique and different and tailored to you as a vision board for yourself. So highly recommend you do that. That's the first thing that's coming through in terms of how you can embody this for the upcoming year for your soul's purpose. It feels like you just need something to be able to look back at and keep reminding yourself your why. Secondly, if that's something that doesn't resonate with you at all, I do feel like journaling is 100% going to help. The journaling though, I am hearing, for some reason when I look at the patience card with the messenger of air, and they're kind of conjunct each other here, it is showing to me that it is going to take time for your mental to align closer to what your heart wants for you. It will take time. That's not something that you can kind of rewire in your head like in the snap of your fingers. This is something that will take its time because you have been so used to pleasing others and saying yes to everything and overcommitting to so many different ways of seeing things without actually taking your time to make that decision or to take those steps forward. Like you kind of would just go into something, your hopes all in, your heart all in, and not really allow yourself to take a step back before you really jump all into it. Like you would never give yourself a moment of pause, a moment of grace to really sit with it and say, is this really what I want? That vision board, like I told you earlier, can really help you be able to do that. So when you get like an opportunity given to you, that vision board can help you in those moments where when you are growing and you are aligning with the things you're trying to attract, which you will attract. I do see it happening to you 100%, pile number one, but it's only if you listen to everything I'm telling you to do now. That is going to help you have like an anchor to keep yourself grounded back to your core value, your core intention for what got you into this upcoming year. Like what was the intention set at the beginning of the upcoming year? So when you're in the middle of the new year, you're being able to look back at it. And I feel like it's a vision board or journaling. If you have a trail of journaling notes throughout that upcoming year that you're moving into, that will help you be able to see your progress and your growth because you are just being called to keep yourself in check. In order to keep yourself in check, you need something outside of you to keep yourself in check with, because if you have nothing in front of you, and let's just say you go into this new year, you're gonna try to embody this. Like I do see you being a naturally determined person, pile number one, that's in your energy when you are really passionate or focused on something that you want to accomplish. Like you're headstrong and you become very determined to want to do it. You become ambitious. But because of that, it does lead you to taking a risk without being smart about the risk or having a strategy to it. So doing this will ensure that you do have some strategy, some kind of safe haven to look back at, something that will feel like a safety net in a way. So when those thoughts start making you feel like you're going out of whack, you can look at this thing or you can look at the journal notes that you wrote down for yourself throughout the year and say, this is just a past thought process that's trying to be rewired in my brain. And my brain's just trying to test me to see how strong I really am, how capable I really am to keep moving forward, to renew myself and become the version of myself I've always wanted and align with the life I've always wanted. I do see it happening to you. It's just you got to stay true to yourself. You got to learn how to be true to yourself, pile number one. That's something you're very much learning and embodying in this upcoming year. That's what your soul purpose is all about. It's about aligning with your truth, honoring it, living it, and trying to show that to yourself, because I don't know if you trust yourself very well right now. I think that's why you are naturally a very indecisive person. It feels like you're learning how to heal that relationship you have with yourself, which is very beautiful. I applaud you for that. Not a lot of people can do that. You're just trying to be very real with yourself. Again, just to summarize, I said the vision board, or you can do journaling notes in that year to keep yourself in check. But it does just feel like, from what the cards are showing me, pile number one, it's really up to you. You got to keep yourself in check. You got to be your own accountability partner, basically, because what you want does want you back, but you can't align with it until where you're at, how you think, your thinking process, your thinking patterns, they need to be aligned with what you want as well. We can't really attain true inner peace until we learn how to calm the noise in our head. And you can do that, but you need to kind of hold yourself accountable for it and have something that you can rely on, because right now you just kind of started trying to make this a tangible thing for yourself. Like I said, you were in that painful cycle and you're trying to make sure that that's the last time you experience something like this. The only way to ensure that for yourself moving forward is to ensure that you don't repeat the processes that you did to lead it to this pain to start with in the first place. You've grown a lot though, so I applaud
applaud you for that. The version of you that you are now is not who you were like 3 or 4 years ago. That's just what's coming through in my head, but it does feel like you guys have done a lot of work on yourself to be where you're at today. You still have a lot of work to do. Every journey in life that we experience is going to have its ups and downs, but I feel like you can really have your own back if you just make sure that you keep coming back to your why and remembering the root of what's driven you to want to do this self-growth journey and make yourself better. What was that initial reasoning behind that? When people naturally have very big hearts, they can do very big things for themselves with that very big heart of theirs. Don't dwell on the things that have disappointed you, but instead ask yourself, what else is in store for me? My heart is so big that this really didn't work out. Wow, that must mean that there's something even better. Source is trying to ensure that your big heart is only going to be left with the things that you genuinely deserve the most of in your life. Remember that what you're doing, what you're experiencing, this is all leading you to what you want at the end of the day. So even though it hurt, it's just because it wasn't part of what you're seeking. Pile number 1, I really hope this reading resonated with you. Give it a thumbs up if it did. You can always shoot me a comment down below if you were one of those beautiful souls that ended up selecting this pile for yourself. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to see more pick a card reading topics like this one, or even check out all the other series I have that are all about helping you become the best version of yourself and learn how to become your own inner healer so that your inner world can heal, and that way it can reflect exactly what you want on your outer world. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in my next pick a card readings to come. Bye. Hello, beautiful souls. It is Ahimsa here, and if this is the card that helped you select this pile in terms of what your soul's purpose is in the upcoming year, then this reading is 100% for you, and you guys are now officially my pile number 2s. When it comes to the card that allowed you to select this pile, the Bardo, this is a card that has a lot to do with transitioning. From the way that the archetype is described in this deck in particular, the Bardo is a space that is between the spiritual realm and the physical realm that is a pretty uncomfortable place to be. It's an area where there's a transitioning going on in regards to one way of consciousness to another way of consciousness that's more evolved, that's more aware, that's more ascended in nature. It's an area where you are being encouraged to heal, forgive, release things that are no longer serving you, so that way you can really level up and ascend and move into the next level of consciousness that you're meant to attain in this lifetime. When I see this card being the actual significator card for your reading in itself in regards to what your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year, pile number 2, I am already knowing for a fact that this upcoming year for you guys is going to be a pretty transformative one. It's going to be a time where you're going to have a lot of revelations, a lot of truths being revealed, and a lot of opportunities in the upcoming year for reflection, to gain better clarity about certain things in regards to how you used to be in your past. There's just going to be a lot of opportunity for you to do a lot of self-growth in this upcoming year, and I feel like your soul's purpose has a lot to do with leveling up. Brace yourself, because I have a feeling that this reading is going to be pretty intense in regards to what it is your soul wants you to really focus on in the upcoming year. We're going to be moving your significator card to the side here, and we're gonna take a look at all your oracle cards that we got out for you. And then after that, we're gonna get to look into how you can embody it in the upcoming year as well. So with that being said, I do feel called to pull this card out, so let us start. For the first, one of your first oracle cards, you have Leo with Shine, number 5. Are you learning how to be unapologetically you? Are you learning how to step into your truth, your authentic form in the upcoming year? Leo lions, they have a powerful energy to them and a powerful aura to them. The Bardo has that similar intense energy to it as well. The thing they rule in the sky is our sun. And so the sun can have a lot to do with intense, fiery like energy. It can be over dramatized, or I don't even know if that's a word. Over exaggerations can be a thing with Leos. That's what they're known to. You know, they love to be like the center of attention, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally. They just have that aura to kind of attract people their way. With the Bardo, the energy that I'm seeing here is like, it's not that you're trying to attract these crazy things to happen to you in the upcoming year, but they're just gonna happen. You might actually question, like, why does this keep happening? Or why does it feel like I'm in a soap opera? It's gonna feel like you're gonna be the main character in this upcoming year. And I feel like your soul's purpose is gonna have a lot to do with trying to encourage you to be more comfortable in the limelight. I'm also feeling like you guys are naturally naturally timid in nature. You like to keep to yourself. You like to be more reserved. Okay, this is a channel message. This is nothing I'm seeing in the cards, guys. So maybe some of you guys are experiencing this or about to experience this for some of my pile number twos. But I am hearing that there's something you want to do that involves you having to be in the spotlight a little bit more, and you're kind of scared of that. So this upcoming year is going to be about you learning how to get more comfortable doing those things, and it's going to involve you going through a lot of healing. There's going to be a big healing process that you're going to be moving through in this upcoming year that has a lot to do with alignment of your soul's purpose, because your soul is trying to align itself with the right frequency to get what you want. This upcoming year is going to be all about that for you. So you can start doing what is required of you so you can get what you really want at the end of the day. Next up, for a Prism Oracle card, we have Magic. Oh, so beautiful. And the Bardo has a magical essence to it as well. Let's place that over here. Let's keep going. For another Prism Oracle card, you have Protection. I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself for now, okay? And let's keep seeing what the cards have to show us, because I am getting an idea here, but I want to see if there's further confirmation pointing towards that seed that's being planted in my head right now, okay? For another astrology card, you have Solar Calm with the subtext Clarify, the number 16. Solar, sun. Also, guys, I did ask pile number one to do this as well, but for anyone here listening to this so far, I would love if you guys can give me some more input on what you want and any more readings to come moving forward. Sorry, it was a random thing I just remembered to say. Sorry about that, but please shoot a comment down below and let me know what you would prefer. If you would prefer me to keep things more zoomed in, because I'm not sure if it's easier for you guys to see the wording in these cards that you guys receive, but I also want to make sure that the camera itself captures all the cards that you receive as well. I've always had a little bit of a indecisive moment within myself when it comes to whether or not I should zoom in or zoom out during certain points of the reading. So if you guys can please shoot me a comment down below and just let me know what you think you would like me to start doing, if there's anything that you think I can improve on, because I am here trying to be a messenger for the advice and the guidance and messages that you guys are meant to hear. So I want to make sure that I am being of service to you guys in the best way possible and showing up on here the best way possible. So please don't be afraid to give me any critiques or suggestions or tips on what you think would work better when it comes to how I deliver these in regards to maybe like the visuals and how you're able to see your cards, okay? This helps me be able to implement what you guys want out of a pick a card reading, okay, moving forward. But let us continue. For a Sacred Travelers card, you have Wondrous Universe, Walk in Beauty. I feel like this is feeding into that message I was getting earlier. We still have two more cards though, so I do want to see what else is going to show up for your last two. For a Sacred Creator card, we have Shift the Way to New Potential. Okay, this exactly matches up with the Bardo archetype card you received. And not to mention, the coloring is somewhat similar in that vortex energy, and there's like a vortex here as well. So there is a transition. You are in a time of self-growth right now, and in this upcoming year, your soul's purpose is to align more with the frequency that is your truth. You're being called to embody that a lot more. Have you been stepped on a lot, pile number two, in your past, enough to make you determined to want to put you first moving forward? Let us see the last card and kind of dive into it all together, okay? For your final oracle card, we have Taking Shelter. The answers are within. Yes, again, this 100,000% confirms the Bardo energy of the significator card that allowed you to select this pile. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you're definitely about to go through some huge metamorphosis process. This upcoming year is not about you starting on it, embarking on what you want. I don't see you entirely embodying your true energy, the essence at which you've always wanted to level up towards in this lifetime. But I see this upcoming year being a huge, what's the word? A huge
catalyst. It's gonna be one of those bigger catalysts to help you get there. That's what the soul's purpose is gonna be all about in this upcoming year. Pile number 2. It is all about you learning how to protect your energy. And I feel like this upcoming year is gonna be about you kind of experimenting on how to be a little bit more out there and how to be a little bit more within yourself. And you're learning how to combine the introspective with the introverted side of you with the extroverted side of you and make something that meets you a little bit more in the middle, where you don't put so much of yourself out on the line where you're showing your heart bare naked to everyone to get hurt easily, but you're also trying not to keep everything inside of you so that there's no new opportunity and new beauty to come into your life as well. It's like you're trying to find a nice middle or harmony within yourself in this upcoming year. And your soul's purpose has a lot to do with you learning how to embody both the light and the darker qualities of you and make something beautiful once you come in the middle. Oh, this is so beautiful. Pile number 2, I am so excited for you. Unfortunately though, I'm excited for you because I'm a facilitator for deep healing and that's my job. That's my passion. I love helping people heal, right? But it's not to say that it's gonna be something really worth being excited for, in the sense of this can be a very uncomfortable time for you. This upcoming year might have a lot to do with high and low moments in your healing journey and your emotional healing journey, to say the least. I feel like there's a lot to do with learning how to find an emotional stability within you. Not to say that I think that you guys don't know how to do that, but there's been so many highs and lows in your life. At least this is what I'm channeling. I'm seeing this in my mind's eye, a visual and imagery of somebody who is a little bit beaten up internally. Emotionally, they are a little bit beat up. And it's because of things that they've had to experience in their life that has kind of made their nervous system not so at a healthy state. It might be difficult for you to be able to work with the logical side of you and the emotional side of you and keep them at good terms with each other. Sometimes it might feel like one side of you kind of takes over everything and then kind of throws that other part of you to the curb. This upcoming year, your soul's purpose is learning how to embody both sides of you so you can feel whole within yourself, so that you can go take on life and do what it is that you truly want and seek what it is you truly are seeking in this lifetime. This upcoming year is going to be very beautiful when you get to look back on it. This is going to be one of those catapult moments in your life that's going to help shoot you off into a new dimension in a way. It's going to feel like you're quantum leaping into a new reality for yourself, because you're going to get to just learn how to marry those two different sides of you and find wholeness within. It's very beautiful. I see you learning how to not be afraid to take steps back in certain situations when you know that that's an important time to do that. You're learning how to wisen up a lot in this upcoming year, and your soul's purpose is here to help you do just that. Maybe you've already set a lot of intentions for self-growth, or maybe that's been an ongoing theme in your life, is what I'm hearing so far, at least in my head. I'm hearing there's been a lot of little hints kind of pushing you to focus on you a little bit more. Maybe there has been a thing that led you to wanting to focus on you more, like a big tower-like moment in your life. I'm just letting you know right off the bat, pile number 2, this upcoming year is going to bring you so much clarity, and you're going to be so grateful for having gone through everything you're about to go through. This is going to be an upcoming year, a time in your life where you're going to get to look back on it after it's done and be like, holy moly, I am so awesome for having gone through all this and worked on myself as hard as I did. Because for some reason, I'm channeling your energy right now, guys, and you guys are determined. You're emotionally invested in your self-growth right now. That's a big statement that I just said. Not a lot of people can get to that point within themselves where they are like, I'm done, no BS, cut the crap. I'm turning the volume all the way up within myself, and I'm gonna strive and shoot forward in my life to keep growing. That's hard when we gotta be brutally honest with ourselves and we ask ourselves, like, do we like who we are today? I feel like you guys are done beating around the bush with yourself with this topic in particular, and this upcoming year is just going to be all about you taking your power back and harnessing your power, learning how to work with it so that it can be for your ultimate overall benefit in life overall. Like, you're really learning how to master your magic within you. You can tell when somebody has a powerful aura, even if they don't know how to tame it, it or they do. Like you can sense those things off of people. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but at least I've been able to experience those things. You can tell when someone has like a big, I'm gonna put this in quotes because I don't believe in this, but you know when people say like, oh, like they've got a big personality? I don't think that they have a big personality. I think it's just how powerful their energy is. It can emit such power, such strength that people have to identify them and label them as a big personality person. And I feel like for you guys, maybe you guys have been in the past always accused of like being too much, too extra, or too this or too that, or you're over emotional, or you overthink to the brink of not being able to make your head shut up. Like there is a lot of excessive energy here. This also shows that you have a lot of strength that has yet to be born or brought to the table, that is yet to be tamed. In this upcoming year, your soul's purpose is to learn how to work with this power you always have held. Learn how to work with it in a way where when the next year comes around, after this upcoming year, you can be confident, but with a silence to it. You can just walk into a room and people can feel like, whoa, like that rush of energy. You're really learning how to feel like a force to be reckoned with and really believe that inside yourself. There's a big desire or hunger for self-growth here with this pile that I applaud, because this is what my channel is all about. And not only that, but I have a similar mindset as you guys. So yay, we're twinning on that regard. But let us take a look and check out your tarot cards and kind of put everything together. See if it can give us any more information in regards to what exactly your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year. So we're gonna get like, I'm only called to pull out 4 tarot cards for you guys, and then the next 4 tarot cards are gonna be how you can embody it. I want to be able to give you guys advice, so when you guys leave this reading today, you're gonna feel like you know the steps you can start taking for yourself before the year even begins. So let us take a look. Okay, I gotta pause here, guys. You know what I just realized? Again, pile number 1, I didn't do this for them. I don't normally do reversals, and I started shuffling as if I was about to do reversals. So I'm gonna go with it, and I'm gonna trust in source right now. I have no way that I set up these readings, guys. I kind of allow source to take the lead on these, and I go with it, you know? There's no right or wrong way to provide a reading, right? It's only on rare occasion where source is like, okay, let's make her do it. And I just realized what I was doing, and I was like, oh, I guess this is where we're going today. But let us definitely take a look. So what is pile number 2's full purpose in the upcoming year? Fun fact about me, pile number 2, when I don't recognize whether a card is meant to be upright or reversed, I will always drop it face up like this 3 times and see where it wishes to land, which way. And that will help me determine if it's meant to be upright or reversed. I feel like this is a significator card, so I'm gonna leave it there. All right, beautiful souls, for the back of the deck energy for this reading for you today, we have the sun. How beautiful. There's so much sun energy. You got the Leo, you got solar, there's a light right here, wondrous universe, there's like a lot of magic as well. You got really the word magic. Oh, and I just realized your significator card, pile number 2, is the Magician. There's magic and sparkles, and the Bardo, like I told you, it's not a physical realm, it's not a spiritual realm, it's a mix. It's a magical, transcendental area that your soul can travel through, at least through the archetype deck in itself. That's what it describes the Bardo to be. It's a place where you can say what was left unsaid, where you can forgive what was not forgiven, and just kind of release all those things that don't serve you so you can level up. It's just so cool to see the magic. I'm so excited for you guys. I know that this upcoming year is going to be a little bit stressful in terms of the highs and lows you're going to have to move through, but your soul's purpose really is to help you become the best version of yourself. You literally got the Magician as your significator card, the back of the deck as the sun. These 2 things coming together, pile number 2, it's just about growth and learning how to become your own master manifester and healing and finding your true light and not letting that dim. And like I said, people might have really judged you for being the way you are in the past, but you're refusing to allow that to dim your light any more than it has in the past further. This upcoming year, you're just gonna focus on working with it and mastering it and harnessing your potential, your true potential. With great power comes great responsibility. And I see that this upcoming year is gonna be kind of that big theme for you, where with great power comes great responsibility, because you're learning how to work with it. And that is a big responsibility in itself, learning how to work with yourself, learning how to understand how you tick, what triggers you, how you react to things. Like, you're really just trying to go through some huge self-development moment. For the cards, in terms of what we selected for the exact what your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year, combining with the oracle cards we pulled out, let us see if we can get some extra confirmation here. For your first card, we have the Four of Swords in reverse. Next up, we have the Seven of Fire, also known as the Seven of Wands. Yes, and the Unicorn. Oh my God, it's like stepping into your truth, stepping into your authenticity, but being willing to keep fighting for it. That's the fighting spirit that I'm channeling from your pile, guys. There's a determined approach on how you're gonna move through this upcoming year. It's so beautiful. I don't think that you actually understand how badly you've always wanted this for yourself. I feel like you're kind of doing this. Like, I'm hearing it's for my inner child. It's for my inner child. Like, you're really just trying to show to yourself how much you really love yourself. And after this year ends, the upcoming year, pile number 2, I have a feeling that you're gonna be so immensely proud of yourself, that relationship that you've always really seek to develop within yourself, it's going to be unbreakable. But after this upcoming year ends, your soul's purpose is to ensure that you have your own back. This is why there's going to be a lot of highs and lows, and I keep feeling that. It's not that it's really showing me that, but I'm having a channel message of there's going to be a lot of intense moments. You are going to be very guided and pushed, nudged by your own soul in this upcoming year to keep pushing forward, not give up on yourself. Maybe some of you guys have been, I'm not a doctor, disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only, but maybe some of you guys were diagnosed with some sort of mental health ailment, and I see you guys trying to fight that and overcome it and kind of better yourself and learn how to have your own back so it doesn't get that bad again. That's something that's coming through, but this is something that your inner child has begged you to do for quite a long time, and you weren't really ready for it, because I'm hearing that there was a lot of things that happened around you, like in your environment, maybe people around you. It could be the environment in itself, like the actual setting. A lot of things that kept getting you distracted, or not distracted, but you were just very busy with life. It wasn't things that you wanted to be busy with. It was things that were just kind of given to you. At least that's what I'm hearing in my head. It's like now you're being given this opportunity to go big or go home with yourself. When you have those that you love in your life, you love them very deeply with all your heart. You're gonna get to see what it feels like to give that much love to yourself in this upcoming year. Oh my God, I'm literally gonna cry. I am so... You guys might think that you're not in a point in your life where you can be proud of yourself yet. But remember, like 2 years ago from this moment, you are not the same person you are now. This hunger was not this big 2 years ago than how it is today. You guys should give yourself a little bit more credit. You guys are kind of hard on yourself, but I think it's because of that Leo energy I keep channeling, that you just want to be the best version of yourself. Remember, you got to learn during this journey that you're going to go through in this upcoming year, pile number 2, to find the enjoyment and the pleasure during it, even if it's not going to be exactly where you want to be just yet this upcoming year. It's about being the catalyst for your growth so you can get to exactly where you want to be. So honor that journey as what it is. Don't try to force it to be any more than what it's meant to be for you, at least in this upcoming year, okay? Because you're also learning how to find that balance with, I told you, those like polar opposite energy, the polarizing light, polarizing dark energy. You can even see this as yin and yang energy. You can see this as masculine and feminine, sun and mood. But with that, it also comes with how fast you move versus how slow you go, how much you go within and how much you look outside of yourself. There's a lot to do with working with these different essences that make you who you are and bring them together to find a wholeness. That's what keeps coming through, and it's very beautiful, because with the Magician, it makes so much sense actually, because the Magician has this ability to use all the different elements. In tarot, you know how we have the ace, not the aces, you know how we have the pentacles, we have the swords, we have the cups, and we have the wands. All those things the Magician has. They have all the elements, and they're able to create anything they want in their life because they can harness all these different things things. Think of your mind, think of your emotions, think of your physical body, think of your soul, think of everything that makes you you. You're gonna be able to have an opportunity in this upcoming year for what your soul's purpose is trying to align with. You have free will, remember. And when I say trying to, it's because it's really gonna be ultimately on how far you're willing to go. You have the decision to allow it to be that or not, because I do feel like you have tried to do this, something similar to this extent before, but the hunger wasn't as strong as it was. And I think maybe that's why I said that thing about how you should be a little bit more proud of yourself, because you need to have little moments of celebration during this journey or else it's not going to work. Your soul's purpose is really just about learning how to show up for you in a true, unconditionally love aligned way. Let us continue and see the last two cards we have here. The Ace of Water, also known as the Ace of Cups in reversed. Self-love, learning how to work with that. Oh, okay, maybe you guys are big perfectionists and you're a little bit too hard on yourself. Were you raised in an environment that always required a lot of you or required a lot of energy from you? And now you're kind of wired to believe that you're never enough, and that's why there's that hunger for self-development and self-growth. And your soul's purpose in this upcoming year is to help you rewire that within yourself, to reteach yourself, kind of deprogram those old ways of thinking, which makes sense with the Bardo, because that's an area, a transitional point where you get to do all that so that you can go into the next level of consciousness you're meant to be at and leave all those old things behind. You can even see this as a black hole moment. You're letting that black hole absorb all those old things, old limiting beliefs that were holding you back. This upcoming year. Warning, pile number 2 is going to be intense, but it's only if you allow it to be that. If you are willing to push through it, your soul is going to have to really work with you and your own free will to make sure that this continues to unravel in the way it's meant to. Because I feel like in this lifetime, pile number 2, you are definitely destined to be something greater than what you are now. And not to say that you're not an amazing thing right now, an amazing being, but more so the way you talk to yourself, the way you feel about things. If someone asked you, how do you feel about yourself right now? In this lifetime, you're meant to learn how to give an answer that is aligned with unconditional love towards yourself, and in a way where you can still be hungry for success, but in a way where you can also be patient with yourself if the success doesn't come in the exact timelines that you give yourself, because I am feeling like you have a little bit of rigidity within you as well. Last card, we have the Ace of Fire in reverse, also known as the Ace of Wands in reverse. Yeah, so you have two aces in reverse next to each other. So you have tried doing this before, and this has been an ongoing battle within yourself. Maybe, like I said before, this is also giving me confirmation that what I said about the mental health, maybe this has been something you've been trying to overcome for a while, but I feel like this upcoming year is gonna be different. You guys are gonna have a chance to really push forward into your growth journey in a way where it's gonna feel like a quantum leap, because you haven't made that much progress in not such a short amount of time ever before in your whole life. Like, you're gonna do so much growth in this upcoming year where you're gonna be like, holy moly, why didn't I do this sooner? And I don't want you to be too hard on yourself if those thoughts ever come in, because they're inaccurate. Pile number 2, you aren't meant to experience this much growth in such a short amount of time. In the past, for a reason, there was a lot of things that were kind of getting in your way. I keep feeling like it's not your fault. Like, sometimes people put themselves in messy situations because of self-sabotaging tendencies. From at least what I'm channeling with your energy, it feels too innocent, and it doesn't feel like you were blindly putting yourself in situations. It feels like you deserve more grace because you are actually a soul who wants to grow. You have a desire to better yourself. There's people who self-sabotage and they have no desire. They just want to stay exactly the way they are. I can see from you and the progress you've tried making in your past, at least from what I'm seeing here and channeling, you just really want to keep that magic within you protected and loved and cherished and honored. You don't want it to go away. I really just feel like you've been at war. You know how there's different wars and they can last years? Feels like you have been going through an inner war with yourself, trying to better yourself for such a long time. I'm so proud of you guys. It is rare when I can find people that have similar values as me. I know that I can be pretty out there in how much self-growth I try to push onto people, but you guys are like the first pile, at least that I've done a reading for in my channel so far, where I can really relate heavily to how much you guys are focused on self-growth right now. You guys are so determined. Oh my God, I'm literally gonna cry, guys. Oh my God. You guys have been through hell and back in multiple different moments in your life, so please don't be too hard on yourself if you're not exactly who you want to be just yet, or where you want to be just yet, anywhere.
in general. Now I want to see how you can embody this. I hope you guys are on the same page with me because that's where we're going to start going. Okay, so let us take a look to see how exactly you can embody your soul's purpose in the upcoming year, okay? So how can pile number 2 embody their soul's purpose in the upcoming year? Beautiful souls, the back of the deck energy for you is the call. Wow. Oh my gosh. This is also known as the judgment card in traditional tarot. I told you guys, you have to be pretty disciplined in terms of how badly you really want to self-grow and level up in this upcoming year. Pile number 2, it is really on you on whether or not you're willing to align with what your soul's purpose is meant to be. It feels like you have been spiritually nudged. It doesn't feel like there was a lot of things around you pushing you to grow, like physical things. I am hearing though, if some of you guys were in therapy, that's different. I'm hearing like people that you grew up with, it doesn't feel like you had a lot of encouragement to grow. It was like encouragement being put for you to be perfect or meet certain standards. And that has nothing to do with true self-growth that's aligned with love. So that's more so aligned with fear. And that's the way you're trying to stray away from being. We don't want that in your life anymore. You already have a lot of fear that has taken over your life for a long time because of that brainwashing that happened to you in your past. This time, you're so close to knowing what it feels like to be proud in a way that is aligned with love and befriending yourself and healing your inner child through doing this. Like that's what the outcome can be for you. There's just so many beautiful cards insinuating here that you are very divinely guided and pushed right now and supported and encouraged to just keep growing. I keep feeling like the reason why this is such a big nudge to go in that direction is because they want to keep showing you how much love and support you have, even if you can't physically see it with your own naked eye, like it's there. They're trying to show you that they are all in this for you. How badly you want this, you should validate that a little bit more. Keep reminding yourself your why. One thing you can do is do a vision board. I also suggested that to pile number 1, so I'm getting a random nudge inside of me to suggest that if any of you guys felt drawn towards pile number 1 and pile number 2, I feel like this is a confirmation that you should also take a look at pile number 1 because that might also have some additional messages in there that will help you kind of put everything together for yourself, okay? That was just something coming through randomly. That might not resonate with everyone, so if it didn't, just push aside what I just said or let it go out the other year. Let us take a look and see in terms of exactly how you can embody this soul's purpose for the upcoming year, okay? For the first card, you have the 2 of Fire in reverse, also known as the 2 of Wands in reverse. Okay, I already have an idea on where this is going, but I'm gonna keep the thoughts to myself until we get all the cards flipped over. Next up, we have the 10 of Air in reverse, also known as the 10 of Swords in reverse. Okay, still confirming what I'm seeing, but let's keep going. Last 2 cards we have here for you is the Justice card in reverse. And lastly, we have, wow, everything is in reverse here. We have the 10 of Earth in reverse, also known as the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, this is very interesting to me. You have 2 10s here in the lower row, and you have 2 aces. What's funny, the aces are 1s, like the beginning of a journey, and the 10s are the end of a journey, the outcome. The Bardo is the transition between a brand new level of consciousness and releasing of an old. This is aligning heavily with everything. It's tying everything in, is what I'm trying to say. And the fact that you have the 10s in terms of the column on how you can embody this. Pile number 2, you are able to embody your soul's purpose by releasing all those old self-limiting beliefs. You are heavily being called right now to stop being so hard on yourself. You being so hard on yourself is not helping you want to better yourself. It's actually making you get stressed out when you make progress that you deem yourself to not be enough progress in a certain amount of time. You need to be a little bit more compassionate. The growth won't be able to take full effect and actually take full evolution or take full form if you keep being too hard on yourself. And what I mean by this, yes, if you're hard on yourself, you can get to a certain point in your self-growth journey, 100%. I feel like you've gotten to a certain point. You didn't have as much clarity 2 years ago than you do now about yourself. However, if you keep pressuring yourself to do it and you're not aligned with love, you're not gonna have a sturdy enough foundation for your growth to build upon that it could collapse any moment. Something bad can get thrown in your face, like those unexpected things that can happen in life that come out of nowhere, throw us off guard. One of those things can happen in the upcoming year, and if your foundation inside yourself isn't aligned with true compassion, you can crumble and have to start all over again. So I'm telling you right now, be aware of this. Be aware that if you don't know how to fall in love with yourself just yet before trying to do this, the progress you make in this upcoming year will not be permanent. It can be very temporary and short-lived. So in terms of how to embody this, make sure that you're coming from a place of truth and alignment with compassion. If you have trouble learning how to love yourself, perhaps practice doing some mantras or doing those short, maybe 3 to 5 word statements, repeating them to yourself 3 to 5 times a day, 3 times daily in total. It helps develop new neural pathways in your brain that are aligned with compassion, and it helps weaken the ones that have been there for so long, but it does take time. And I think that's why you're being very called. It's interesting. You have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse and the 10 of Swords in reverse. The swords are like the faster energy in tarot. Pentacles are the slowest moving energy in tarot. You have the fast and you have the slow. It's about learning how to find yourself in the middle. Just focus on consistency. How you can embody this for your soul's purpose in the upcoming years, to just focus on your progress and your consistency. So maybe even keeping a journal and just writing down like bullets of what you've been able to accomplish for yourself so far, or maybe even before this upcoming year begins for you, wherever you are watching this in terms of a time frame. I do feel like one thing that can really benefit you before the clock does strike 12 and the new year does begin is make a list of things that you have been able to accomplish. The version of you that you have experienced in this current point at where you're at in life, how much does it differ from the you of last year? How much does this version of you differ from last year? Ask yourself that. Make bullets. And then ask yourself before the clock does strike 12, before the new year just begin, wherever you decide to celebrate it, because I know there's certain religions that start their new year different times, right? Write down a list of the things that you really want to accomplish for yourself, but be realistic and be honest, Do baby steps. Have more self-compassion could be one that you put on your list, for example. You will never disappoint yourself when the next year comes around because you did a baby step small enough that anybody can accomplish. It's realistic, it's tangible, it's attainable, and you surpassed it. Challenge yourself by surpassing the goals you put down. And don't make a goal that you know yourself is maybe possible, but by only like a 2% margin. Like, come on. You don't need to be so hard on yourself to expect greatness every single time. You are an amazing human being. Just look at all the cards you guys got. Pile number 2, you need to keep telling yourself that you are worthy of this, but you need to make sure that you're doing it in a way that is aligned with true love and patience and persistence with yourself, because consistency is going to really be your best friend at the end of the day when it comes to this journey coming up for you. Your soul's purpose is to learn how to find a middle between the light and the dark aspects of you, but doing that in a way requires patience, and doing it in a way where you're aligned with fairness towards yourself. You want to make this a fair transition, and what I mean by this is making sure that you don't expect too much, but you also don't expect too little. You need to make sure that you're aware during this whole journeying, because in order to really align and embody your soul's purpose for the upcoming year, pile number 2, you need to have the awareness of the call that your soul wants you to do. But you also need to keep in mind that you are also just human. And you're gonna have moments where the pace at which you grow at is gonna feel a little bit slower than other moments in this upcoming year. And you need to honor those paces, because it doesn't matter how much progress you make, right? What matters is that you keep
going forward. Make sure that you honor those moments. And it's about starting from inside yourself so that the progress you put outside of yourself lines up with what your inner world is reflecting. Because at the end of the day, you need your inner world to really reflect what you want in your outer world. And if your inner world isn't lined up to that, then things are gonna start shifting, and they can either shift to a positive or a negative experience for you. So you need to make sure that you have your mental psyche in the right place in order for this journeying to become a permanent and long-lasting shift in your life. Just be really brutally honest with yourself. Stay truthful to yourself. Don't BS yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Try to keep reminding yourself what is your truth versus what was old limiting beliefs or things that were taught to you by those around you in your past. Like, try to remember to differentiate between the belief systems that you're trying to adopt versus the belief systems that you're trying to release, and make sure before you make decisions in this upcoming year, where are those decisions coming from? Are they coming from a place of the new beliefs that I'm trying to develop, or are they coming from a place of the old? And that will really help you in determining where to go and where not to go, or if this is a good step forward or if this isn't. You just need to make sure you're aligned in it and you're in it for the right reasons. Don't do this because you think you're not good enough now. Make sure that when you start this journey for yourself, pile number 2, that you're coming from a place of, I already love myself, but I want to see what I can really do. I want to see the power I truly hold. Everyone telling me I'm too big, or my personality's too extravagant, or I can be a little bit too much here. Why do they tell me that? Maybe in reality, that energy, that excess of energy that I feel I have is meant to help me do something bigger and greater in life that those people just don't understand enough of, and that's why they call me too much. They don't understand it because they don't have that excess energy where it can help them do great things, but you do. It's about learning and recognizing the truth behind everything. Give yourself a little bit more clarity. I do feel like writing this down is going to help you though, pile number 2. And the reason why I say that is because you like to replay a lot of scenarios in your head, and sometimes it can make you stall heavily. And I think that's why the 2 of Wands or 2 of Fire showed up in reverse here, because you like to be in planning stages, but you don't actually write them down. You need to write this down to plant the seed outside of yourself. You planted the seed in your head, right? The hunger, the drive that I was channeling at the beginning of your very reading was there for a reason. But I need to make sure that you guys have a set up plan. Make a plan for when you need to escape a situation. Make a plan for yourself for where you need to have a safe haven, a comfort space for you to be able to kind of go back to breathe and recharge, I guess you can say. That's not the right word that I was trying to say, but I'm just gonna say that. Just make sure that you are doing this in a way where you have a security net under you and you don't feel like you're all alone, because you're not 100%. Look at all these beautiful cards. These cards, I shuffled them in live action. You can see it at the beginning of my videos. I always do it. And the only reason why I speed them up is because it takes a while, okay? But the reason why I'm saying this is because I need you guys to remember that there's a reason why you have this hunger to grow. Not everyone has planted those seeds in their head. It's harder for some other people to get to that point, but you're here. You need to keep reminding yourself of the why. I believe in you guys 100%. I highly recommend though, if this is something that you do feel called to keep looking into and you want to figure out how maybe you could take some extra tangible steps for yourself today, I do recommend that you guys check out the series or playlists that I have on my YouTube channel. I have a lot of different playlists that can help you guys in terms of some wisdom nuggets if you guys need to hear some additional little insights, or if you guys need to look into finding a step-by-step guide to help you do this for yourself. Definitely check out my chakra playlist. I have one on the root chakra specifically, and I have one on the chakra system in its entirety, but everything is still a work in progress because my YouTube channel is still pretty new. This just shows to me how determined you are. Maybe you're gonna need some extra reminders of that. Maybe you're gonna need some extra little reassurances of that. And in a lot of those different videos that I was recommending you guys check out, I share with you guys a lot of the things and strategies, tips and tricks that helped me become the version of myself that I am now through my own personal healing journey and things I've had to overcome when it comes to self-sabotage, addictions, when it comes to limiting belief systems. There's a lot of different things. So I do highly recommend that you guys do check that out if you guys want a little bit more insight in this, okay? I really do hope that this reading resonated with you. Give it a thumbs up if it did. I really do feel like on a soul level that I relate to you guys heavily right now. I'm so freaking proud of you guys. Keep pushing forward. You guys are doing freaking amazing. Just stay on that realm of perseverance though. Don't let that dim. Don't let that light dim. The light has been here. It's warming up. It's getting bigger, and you need to let your magic shine. I feel like some of you guys are meant to do really great things and help the world be a better place just by being you, because you can help people remember the beauty of being authentic and staying true to themselves. And remember, the more you heal, the more you help the world be a better place, because when we heal, we create rippling effects like dominoes to help show people the beauty of what happens when you do work on yourself. Be a part of that change to help this world be a better place. There's too much pain, there's too much fear, and there's too much war internally and externally that's going on in this world, and we need more people like us to want to focus on ourselves, to better ourselves, so we can show people really what it's like to truly live and not just come from a place of survival. Sending you guys so much unconditional love. Shoot me any comments down below about what I said in terms of how you guys think I should do the recordings moving forward. It just helps me get some more insight on what the people want, you beautiful souls want, aside from just what I want or think is best. If you have any other topics you'd like me to do on this channel as well, I'm all for it. As long as they're aligned with self-growth and all those things, all those beautiful things, I am open to doing them, okay? Have a beautiful rest of your day, and hopefully I'll see you in my next pick of card readings to come. Bye. Hello, beautiful souls. It is Ahimsa here, and if this is the card that helped you select this pile, the Venom, then this reading is 100% for you. This pile is 100% for you in regards to what your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year. Wherever you are in the timeline of life, this reading is meant for you. It doesn't matter what the upcoming year is for you. Whenever you're watching this, this is what you're meant to hear in terms of what your soul's purpose is, okay? When it comes to the significator card that allowed you to select this pile, the Venom in the archetype deck is a card that has to do with a poison. And it could be a poison that is in your life. It could be you identifying with a poisonous trait of yours. It's something that is there that is causing some sort of harm, inflicting some sort of pain or suffering into your life. And you may not realize it, and that's why the Venom is as such. It may or may not feel like you're in a trapped state in your life right now. You might feel like you're in some sort of toxic situation, whether it's with a person, place, or thing, or with yourself. Maybe you have a toxic relationship with yourself. Maybe this is something to do with self-sabotaging tendencies. Whatever this may be, this is an indication that in the upcoming year, your soul's purpose is to identify what this is, find the clarity, find the cause, the root source of the suffering that you're going through right now. And it's the thing that your soul is going to guide you to doing for yourself, but at the end of the day, you have the free will to be honest with yourself about this. When it comes to exactly what this could be, I feel like some oracle cards are going to give us a little bit more insight on that. Remember, you know, there's going to be lots of people watching this pile. Obviously, maybe one thing I share might not resonate with everybody, so make sure you do cherry pick what resonates and leave what doesn't in regards to this reading. I'm getting a randomly channeled message that if you are one of those people that felt drawn towards two piles, maybe it was pile 3 and some other number, I highly recommend that you check out that other pile that you did feel drawn towards, because I feel like this is something that's going to help emphasize one of the original piles you did feel drawn towards. That's just a very specific message for some people listening to this. We're going to just slide this up to the side here, and we're going to take a look at the rest of your oracle cards that are going to help us see what exactly is your soul's purpose in this upcoming year, okay? And kind of put everything together. For some reason, I'm feeling called for your pile to do 6 or 5. We'll see what that means. Maybe that means there's going to be a significator card and then just 5 cards. We'll see. And then we're also going to dive into how you can embody your soul's purpose this upcoming year as well, to give you some insight and advice on how to really actually apply this into your life, make it tangible. Let us definitely get into this. When it comes to one of your first oracle cards here for an astrology card, we have the number 26 with Neptune Vision. Okay. I'm going to keep thoughts to myself right now. The only thing I want to say though, because I'm a big mouth person, is the first thing that I thought of when I saw the word Neptune here is illusion, okay? So just keep that in the back of your mind. I'm going to keep it in mind, and we're going to continue. 2 plus 6 with the number 26 here is the number 8. Underworld energy. There could be some shadow work being done right now, or maybe in this upcoming year, your soul's purpose has something to do with healing the shadow self, shadow work, integrating your shadow self into your life, finding more awareness in your shadow qualities as a human. Let's continue. For a prism card, you have abundance. Next up, for another prism card, actually we're going to do an astrology card because that's what feels called to come out. We have the number 18 with Sun Source. Okay, wow. Pile number 2 got a lot of sun energy as well. So if you did feel drawn towards pile number 2 and 3, this is probably a confirmation that you should check out pile number 2 as well. Maybe there's some extra messages there for you. And with the subtext source, if I didn't mention that. Let's keep going with another prism card. We have, ooh, this was in reverse, so let's keep that in mind, but I'm going to keep it upright for now. We have frustration. There's a story, there's something being written in my head right now. There's an image coming to light. I'm gonna keep it to myself, like I said. I really wanna see all the cards on the table first when it comes to your oracle cards, and then we'll start diving into it piece by piece. Next up for another prism card, we have consciousness. Yes, okay, wow. It's just crazy how I'm having this gut feeling, I'm having an intuitive pull towards a story. It's just, it keeps confirming as I start flipping over these cards. For your last two oracle cards, for the Sacred Traveler card, you actually just got one of these cards. Let's see what it is. Distant thunder, clear the air. Yes, 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 guys. There's some shadows. We are working in the shadows this upcoming year. I think pile number 3, there's something to do with shadow work, guys. I'm hearing the word collapse. I don't know why. Some collapse, a big collapse. I'm gonna keep that in my head for now. Collapse. I'm trying to like really sit on that word. Like, why did it come up? Collapse, collapse. Okay, let's keep it. It just feels like there's tower-like energy, like the tarot card. Like it feels like that's in your reading so far. Okay. For the very last oracle card, you guys have with Sacred Creator deck, Changemaker, make waves with the number 45, 9. You have 2 9s. Wow, I kept feeling like the number 9 was important. I really feel like a lot of you guys watching this pile had a draw. You felt drawn towards 2 separate piles. I don't know why that keeps coming through. It's like some of you guys were like pile number 1 and pile 3, but some of you guys were pile 2 and pile 3. It's those specific piles combinations that keep coming through. I already have a huge thing, like a whole storyline that's in my head right now that I can't wait to dive into. But pile number 3, when it comes to what your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year, there's a lot going on. When it comes to self-development, this is gonna be one of those darker portions of deep healing that everyone needs to go through at some point, right, in life. Like when it comes to you wanting to work on yourself and better yourself as a human, everyone is going to experience these highs and lows in healing. And I am feeling like this is gonna have something to do with some sort of dark night of the soul. And what I mean by dark night of the soul, this is gonna be a time in this upcoming year where you're gonna be experiencing a lot of truths being revealed about yourself to yourself. I don't know if you're naturally a reflective person, but I do feel like there's gonna be a huge focal point in this upcoming year for your soul in particular to help you go within yourself to gather more. I'm hearing like collect data, collect more information about who you are for yourself to grow. Okay, this is weird. This is very weird, but I'm talking, right? I'm talking about this. I feel like for some of you guys, there feels like there's a block that's keeping you from being able to fully explore yourself, to go within, do that inner work, do that inner journey within yourself, and go through those highs and lows, those intense moments. Those are also the moments that you'll remember forever that'll help you do those huge turning points in your life to better yourself. Your soul's purpose is meant to do that in this upcoming year, but it feels like there's something that is still blocking you from being able to do that. It feels as if there is a literal blockage. It could be an emotional blockage within you. It could be a chakra blockage. It could be you refusing to go within. Maybe it's hard for you to look at this. Maybe you know that you're meant to do this, but you're stalling on it because you're afraid of what could go wrong. Maybe you're afraid you'll get stuck in the dark aspect of healing. But for others, to be more specific, I am feeling like it could be a relationship you're in or an environment at which you're living in. It's not an environment where the healing can really bloom and take place. It doesn't feel like you're rooted where you're at right now. It feels energetically to me, your emotional state or where you're at emotionally or mental, or just energetically in general, your aura. It feels very heady. You're floating. It feels kind of idle, floating idly, and it's hard for you to find an exact thing to help you focus on this journey that is being prepared for you for this upcoming year. Like it feels as if you know what you should do, what you want to do, you know what your soul is asking to do, what it's calling out to you to go do, but there's something keeping you from being able to honor that request of your soul.
at least right now where you're at, whether it's physically or mentally or spiritually or energetically. This can really apply to a lot of different ways of how you would define a blockage in someone's life. It could be a problem you have to deal with that you know that you got to take care of. There's a lot of different ways that something could be holding you back from embarking on this. But I am hearing that if you want this bad enough for yourself, you can do it. I am also hearing that there's some people, as I say that, they're offended and they don't like hearing that. Why are you guys so mad about it? I'm like trying to see what's not fair. I'm hearing it isn't fair. This isn't fair. This isn't fair to me. This isn't fair. Why is it not fair, guys? Why is it not fair? Pile number 3, I would love if you guys can give me some comments down below and explain your situation. I would love to hear it out. There's a lot of different channeled things I'm sensing, and your situations are very specific and different in form, right? You guys are all different people. If you guys can help me fit the stories in, because I know it's not meant to make sense to me as much as it is meant to make sense to you. Regardless, that's all I'm able to dissect and also channel when it comes to just looking at your oracle cards by themselves. What we're gonna do now is take a look and combine the tarot with it and see what it is in full picture form, what your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year, and just see how everything kind of plugs into each other, okay? So let us start with that. What is pile number 3 soul's purpose in this upcoming year? What is pile number 3 soul's purpose in this upcoming year? Okay, as I'm shuffling, I need to say something. Pile number 3, it feels like some of you guys that did select this pile, you're at a state in life where there was some huge awakening, or there was some sort of acknowledgement to some truth that you were running away from for a while, and it happened and it hit you in the face, felt like a big slap in the face. But even after the truth was revealed to some sort of situation, or some situation was really brought to light in front of your eyes, there was clarity, more clarity brought to this situation. Like something you were trying to figure out. It pissed you off because you didn't want that to be the truth. It's like you were kind of trying to feed yourself an illusion of something regarding this thing you were trying to figure out, because you wanted, that's how bad you wanted to be correct about it. And then once you found out that that wasn't the case, it's like you're mad about it and you're kind of having a little bit of a tantrum in a way about it mentally. There's a little bit of stubbornness shining through for some of you guys, where maybe the thing that's actually blocking you isn't a thing, a person, or a place, but it's actually just you refusing to be honest with yourself. Because I'm hearing like, why me? Like, why can't I? Why this? You can get all these things. Like, I don't know. I'm also hearing some of you guys are hungry for something. You're desiring something deeply and you're like mad about it, and you feel like you don't believe in anything. You're a hopeless kind of person. There's this energy of someone who's kind of hopeless in themselves. They're very negative. They see things very black and white. They're trying to blame anything they can that isn't themselves about why they're not getting this thing, or attaining this thing, or receiving this thing. You're like, I'm a good person. I don't need to worry. It's gonna work. And it hasn't worked, or this thing hasn't happened, or you haven't gotten this thing, or you haven't achieved this thing yet. And you're like, why the hell is it not happening? I thought I'm a good person. Like, this makes no sense. I don't know if you were told to just believe in yourself and maybe that didn't work out, or you think it still hasn't worked out. I'm just hearing someone who's very like mad. They're mad at life. They're kind of blaming things around them for things not working in their favor. They don't want to be honest with themselves. One thing I know for sure though, for all of you individual beautiful souls watching this, pile number 3, you guys are big, big dreamers. Whenever you are seeking something that you know will bring you true emotional fulfillment, whatever that means to you, I know that it's something that you fixate on really heavily in your head. But the hunger for it can be so strong sometimes that you start to lose sense of what it really takes to attain it, achieve it, accomplish it, get it, receive it, whatever it is. Fill in the blank for how this applies into your current life situation. In regards to your soul's purpose in the upcoming year, it seems to me you're gonna be very nudged heavily. It might feel like you're gonna have some signs on the outside of you trying to nudge you in this direction. Like you might see repeating numbers, you might see repeating animals, like spirit animals or things like that, or objects you might see repetitions of, like whether it's a feather. I'm just making up a random example, guys. You're just gonna feel like energetically nudged to dissect yourself further and look at yourself in the mirror. Like this is a metaphor for it, but take a good, long, and hard look at yourself in the mirror and just strip yourself of any masks, any illusions you put over yourself, and you're gonna
gonna just look at the truth. That is what this upcoming year is gonna be all about in regards to what your soul's purpose is. That is what they're gonna try to push you to do. Remember, it's up to you though, because you have free will to decide if you wanna honor what your soul's purpose is meant to be in this upcoming year. That is entirely up to you. I can tell you this reading, but are you gonna honor it is the question, and that's where the second portion of the reading is gonna dive into that. The only reason why I feel called to keep reminding you guys of that is because pile number 3, you were the first pile that I'm doing in this reading topic so far that is just feeling very not positive. Some of you guys might be suffering in a victim mindset, like you're letting a story define who you are when you're forgetting that you actually have the power to define who you want to be or become who you want to become. You're not limited to what happened to you, and that's all you are. It's only if you define yourself as such and you see it that way, then that's what your reality will be. But you're actually capable of a lot more. This is a heavy reading, guys. This is a heavy reading. Jesus. Okay, let's start pulling out all the cards. All right, guys. All right, so pile number 3, we have 5 cards out here for you, and we do have a significator card that did come out. For the back of the deck energy, we have the 10 of Earth, also known as the 10 of Pentacles, and what is pretty trippy here is we also got the Abundance card out here for you. When I look at all these coins, it reminds me of the 10 of Pentacles. So there's something here. This is giving me 2 different side notes to keep in the back of my head right now so far, because we haven't really looked at everything just yet. But what it is, I just realized too, in your significator card, pile number 3 is the 10 of Air. So you got the 10 of Pentacles as the back of the deck energy, and the 10 of Air, also known as the 10 of Swords, as the significator card. You have 2 10s, this being the element that's the slowest in tarot, and this being the fastest element in tarot. I'm literally feeling like you guys have a naivety to you. I don't want to say ignorance, but more like you don't know any better right now. Not supposed to sound like an insult. Don't hate on the messenger, guys. I'm just downloading what source wants me to say. It feels as if there is, I don't know if it's recklessness or naivety, but I'm channeling some sort of childlike energy within you guys. It could be that it's just because some sort of collapse may have happened in your life recently in some sort of situation where you're realizing something or a truth is revealed. Maybe you got called out on something. It's something that kind of stung though. Like it felt like a stab in the heart or a stab in the back. Those are 2 different things I'm hearing. It hurt and it's hard to hear. I'm picturing someone nagging at you guys, but you don't want to hear it. Okay, we gotta start flipping all the cards out, guys, because this seems like a very intricate and complex situation for some of you. And I'm really trying my best to be able to help kind of dive into every single little possible situation I could think of, so that way you guys can plug in all the information you're hearing into your own situation. So let us start flipping over these cards and get a bigger picture, okay? So for the first card, we have the Hermit card. Again, guys, I said 9. Wow, you have 3 9s so far in your reading. Self-discovery, going within. This is just confirming to me there's some sort of shadow work journey you're supposed to go through in this upcoming year. You are meant to go within. Look, you have, where is it? Oh, the Sun and the Source, the number 18, 1 + 8 = 9. And then we have Change Maker, Make Waves, 4 + 5 = 9. And then we have a 9 here. Next up, we have the World's card. A completion of some kind. A full circle effect. I don't know if you guys heard me saying cycles. There's a full circle effect. There's something coming to life. I don't know, maybe you guys were going through like some sort of pattern in your life and you were like, why me? Why does this keep happening? And then you finally are realizing the why behind that. And that's hard for you guys to acknowledge. Okay. Very specific, random. I just noticed it in the imagery here. I kept staring at these keys and I'm like, why are these keys? I don't know if you guys can see it. All these little keys like hanging up here. And then I just noticed there is a keyhole right here, but there's no key in the picture. You going inside yourself is the key to helping you realize it all and find the truth and be honest and find the awareness and guys, it's in you. You are looking for something outside of yourself and it's never gonna come, and that's why you're so frustrated. You need to go inside of yourself to look for those answers. I don't know if like you're expecting people to know how to help yourself better than you know how to help yourself. Right now, guys, you need to go inside yourself. That's the first thing coming through, and I think this is a big indicator. I'm just going with everything it's showing me here. 100,000% with cautiousness and change maker, clear the air, distant thunder. You are about, in this upcoming year, I think your soul's purpose is to go on a shadow healing journey within yourself. And when we go inside ourselves, guys, it is not meant to be fun. I feel like with Neptune, there is a little bit of an illusion element here. I don't know if you guys are, okay, this is weird. Very specific situation. So it might not resonate with everybody, okay? But I'll just use it as an example. I'm picturing somebody who got to learn a little bit about spirituality. Maybe they were in social media on a platform, or they just started hearing about it. Maybe they got some friends that are into like chakras and astrology or all that stuff. And they're like, oh, like that's so cool. So you had this whole idea about what healing is supposed to be about, or spiritual awakenings and connecting to your third eye, opening that up, all those things. But you were doing it without actual knowledge of what it really is, like deep knowledge. Maybe you were trying to do like the laws of the universe. You were trying to manifest something. You heard about manifestation and you're like, oh, that's cool, like law of attraction or all those different laws that the universe has. And you tried to do it, didn't work. And you're like, this doesn't work, screw everything, all this is fake. Or it just made you kind of just get mad about it, shut down instead of trying to figure out the why behind it. The Venom card is just yelling at me because I feel like you're trying to like silence some sort of anger inside you by having a big, strong disbelief in something in your reality right now. Like you don't want to acknowledge that it's you causing this onto yourself. And that might be hard to hear. So I'm sending you guys so much unconditional love. No, this is coming from a place of love, but I just had to say it, okay? I'm gonna continue because I know that might have been a hard pill to swallow. So let us just keep flipping the cards over so you guys can cuss me off in your head silently. Okay, next card. We have the Two of Fire, also known as the Two of Wands. And interestingly enough, I keep getting visions of pile number 2 being a pile you guys gotta look at. I don't know why, but this light right here is reminding me of it. So you guys, again, felt drawn to 2 different piles. Highly recommend you check out the second pile you felt drawn towards. Next up, we have, I'm trying to figure out, I think this could be the Lover's card. What threw me off? Yeah, this is the Lover's card. This is love. In this deck, it's known as love. I just got thrown off because I saw the line and I'm like, strength? But number 6, this is the Lover's card. We have the Lover's card. Yes. Okay, wow. This is crazy. This is, I'm getting adrenaline. Like, I'm like shaking. I don't know why. Are you guys sending me like some bad vibes because of what I said? Lovingly. Luckily, I got my tourmaline here, guys, okay? Just saying. I'm protected. I have a bubble. Okay, let's do it. Last card. We have the Ace of Fire. And again with this like lantern and the torch. Also known as the Ace of Wands, if I did not mention that. Wow. Oh my God, you know what else I just realized too? Yes, okay, wow. I was telling you guys how the answer is to go within, right? I said that there was keys in the Hermit card, and then in the World card, there's a keyhole with no key depicted in any area of this card. I'm trying to make it focus. Focus. And so I just looked at the frustration, and this is obviously a square quadrilateral shape. I forgot what these are called. I'm having a little bit of a dumb moment right now. But obviously the symbolism here is crazy cool because you can't fit that shape into a circular shaped hole. This is exactly aligning with the analogy I gave you guys earlier about how it feels like you're trying to get answers outside of yourself to figure out why it's not working when you need to go inside of yourself. It's like you're blaming things on the outside of yourself for your poor results on something, or like poor outcome on something. It wasn't what you wanted. And not to mention, Pile number 3, when it comes to what your soul's purpose is, putting everything together for this upcoming year, it's all about you aligning with the truth of what you know your heart wants you to go towards. And you're meant to go on a huge internal journey within yourself in this upcoming year. Your soul is going to keep trying to push you to do that. I'm hearing that some of you guys might feel like misfits where you are in currently, like physically in your life. It can be either with the people around you or the home or the state you're in, the town, I don't know. And you feel like you're a misfit or you're misplaced, you're not meant to be there. You feel kind of lost, but you feel lost on the outside and you also feel lost on the inside and you're confused. And because of that, you're frustrated because you don't really know what to do moving forward. When it comes to what your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year, the answer here, I feel like it's an answer to your frustration and it's also what your soul's purpose is. You are meant to go inside yourself. That is where the answers lie. You are a little bit confused on why some things haven't been working out for you. You're just being called to go on an inner journey and go back to the roots of what led you to wanting to do this in the first place, but also reflect back on all those different moments in your life that felt like some sort of pattern or thing that kept repeating over and over. Like when you say, why me? Why does this keep happening? What are the things that kept happening to you that led you to this point? I feel like you guys gotta do some dissecting on that. What's interesting here is I feel like I don't even need to do a separate portion for how you can embody this. I feel like the cards are giving me this as what it is, your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year, and then this is about the answer on how you can embody it. So I'm going to follow what source wants me to do here because it doesn't really feel like I gotta do anything else. The only thing here, I'm looking at this pile where the back of the deck is, and I feel called to cut it. I'm gonna look at, oh my God, guys, I cut it. You got the 10 of fire. Yes, this is how you can embody it. You have 3 10s officially now, also known as the 10 of wands. You need to release all that blame. You need to release all that resentment you're holding because it's not serving you right now, pile number 3. Not only that, but I'm gonna sound really cutthroat right now, so just brace yourselves. I feel like I've been, but this is gonna be a pretty harsh one, okay? So just know it's coming from a place of love, okay? Facilitator for deep healing here, talking, trying to make you guys grow, okay? But what I am seeing here is that, okay, I'm gonna be so straight up. I gotta just do it. I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off. The way that you guys are acting is not gonna get you anywhere. Your attitude right now is not aligned with anything for your highest good. You are too negative right now, and it is really just giving you the exact opposite of what you've always wanted. Where your emotional fulfillment lies is on the complete opposite side of the coin. You're on one side of a coin in life where there's a lot of negativity, and I don't like this word, but I want to say it, hate. There's a lot of grudges. I don't know if you're holding on to something towards somebody, pile number 3, but there is something here that is not serving you at all. And whatever you want is on the other side of a coin where love, unconditional love, forgiveness, inner peace exists, and compassion. In order to get there, you have to work on your inside world. You have to go inside yourself and reflect on what led you to this side of the coin. Why are you here when you could be here? These are 2 different alternate realities you could be living. And in order to get to this other side, you need to change your frequency. But working on our frequencies, working on those types of things that involve energetic things, we have to go inside of ourselves. No one outside of us can give us those answers unless we are willing to want to work on it. But in order to even get something we want to work on with somebody, let's say you want to go to therapy, you need to figure out why you want to go to therapy. I've gone to therapy and I met a couple other different therapists throughout my life. And whenever I would start, they'd always say, what made you want to start? If you don't even know what made you want to start, how are you guys going to solve it? What I'm saying, it's not bad to have a therapist just to talk to. I have a therapist still and I love her to pieces. But what I am saying is that for your case, at least from what I'm seeing here, remember disclaimer, I am not a doctor. This is for entertainment purposes only, just saying. I am feeling as if you guys were trying to find a quick fix thing to your situation, didn't work. And now it's like kind of in your face telling you like it failed. and you're so mad about it when in reality you should have known better from the start. You should have known that this wouldn't work out because you weren't good on the inside. Your inner world was not healthy. It wasn't at a grounded place. You don't feel safe inside yourself yet. You didn't have a healthy foundation for anything to work out on. So you were kind of just expecting it to fall out of the sky. And that's where the mindset is that's kind of failing you right now. There's too much expectation, but not enough hard work for those expectations to come true. It's like you're expecting way too much compared to what you're actually giving for that expectation to come to fruition. In terms of how you can embody this, pile number 3, you're just being called to give in to the call. That's all it is. You are being called to start doing the healing work. I feel like you guys are at your last straw with certain things, and I feel like some of you guys don't even want to hear this, but what I am hearing is that if you do not work on this, your life will not change. It's gonna stay the same. You're gonna keep getting the same results. It feels like you're at a point in your life where you're being given this opportunity in this upcoming year through your soul in a way trying to guide you there to start being honest with yourself. Align with an energy of compassion and determination to want to better yourself, but do it in a way that's true and authentic and genuine. And in order to be genuine, you gotta go through the ick portions of healing as well. We can't just do the spiritual shit where we're like, oh yeah, like chakras, inner peace, meditation, all that. I do yoga, I'm cool. That's not what healing is about. See it as like you're making an ice cream sundae. The actual part that involves the spiritual awakening and the deep healing is the dark stuff. That is the base of the ice cream sundae. When you add the sprinkles, when you add that cherry on top, when you add whatever your toppings are on your sundae, that's the yoga, that's the mindful eating, that's gratitude, that's journaling. But you have to find your base. And this upcoming year, your soul's purpose is to help you start developing that base, that foundation inside yourself to get to want to understand yourself better. You can't just force everything else into your life, all these different toppings, but not have something to hold it in. To be honest here, pile number 3, I feel like this is a good time for me to highly recommend that you guys do check out my playlist on the chakras. I'm still a brand new YouTube channel, and so, you know, I'm releasing my videos as much as I can. I release one video every Sunday. I have a lot of different playlists that can help you do a step-by-step guide on how to better yourself, and it all involves you starting with the why. So I do highly recommend that you guys check that out. You're gonna see it. I have a lot of different playlists in my YouTube channel. I feel like every playlist might benefit you, to be honest, because I do feel like you guys are some people that need a little bit of extra guidance in this realm. Not to mention with the 2 of Wands here, this is a card of preparing for a journey. When I see the animal here standing, and I don't know if you guys can tell, it's kind of hard to see with the lighting, but they're at this edge of a cliff. And the giraffe holding this light, this torch, and this kid gripping on, but they're hunched over. They're not happy, but they're also trying to suck it up and be ready to take on. But they're kind of hesitant too. It feels like you guys need to be in a place to be ready for it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I feel like you guys have a mentality of giving up very easily on things if it doesn't go your way the first time. And when it comes to healing, pile number 3, being super cutthroat right now, healing is not going to be a one-time thing that is just linear. It's gonna be like this. We cannot prepare or plan for these things. What you can do though, before you even journey in that darker part of yourself, is set up a boundary for you, is set up a sacred space and prepare yourself that way. I think really when it comes to how you can embody this, I'm gonna push you guys to check out those videos. There is just way too much information in those things for me to be able to just dive into it right now. I feel like the video itself, I have visuals, it's gonna help you guys be able to really implement this into your life. If you did have 2 piles you felt called towards, not just this one, check out the other one as well, because I feel like it'll help you put everything together and give you more clarity on what this could be about. I send you guys so much unconditional love. Know that when I talk like this, it's because I love you guys. And when I say love, I know maybe some of you guys might cringe, maybe it might make you uncomfortable, but I send love out to every single human because I know that there is a part of you that is light. You know, when we're babies, we don't have evil in our heart. It's developed over time. I believe that even if you don't want to admit it or believe it to yourself right now, there is a love in you that wants to come out. You can look at it and see it in the cards, right? And I was realizing this is called the Good Tarot, this deck that I used. Every little source of light that I'm seeing in your layout of cards, pile number 3, the light aspect to it is always contained. Like it's encapsulated. So this is showing to me that that light is inside you still and it needs to come out. But the only way it can come out is if you go within. No one else can open that or unlock the door to your true potential except yourself. And that's where the strength lies. Give this reading a thumbs up if it resonated. Shoot me a comment down below if you want to cuss me off. I don't want you to, but I'm just trying to give you guys an outlet to release anything, your inner demons, if you feel called to. I've also asked every other person in their piles as well, if you have a suggestion on how you feel like I should be recording these videos, I want to be able to show up on this channel in the best way possible for you guys. So if you guys would prefer me to keep the camera more zoomed in, and we can do things that way and then zoom out after, I want to make sure you guys are able to see all the wording. So just shoot me a comment down below if you think there's anything else you would love to give me, like a recommendation on what you think how the layout could be to help you guys be able to see your cards better. That way I can be of service to you guys in the best way possible, right, moving forward. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this when it comes to helping you become the best version of yourself and learn how to become your own inner healer so your inner world can reflect exactly what you want on the outside, okay? Have a beautiful rest of your day and hopefully I'll see you in my next pick a card readings to come. Bye. Hello, beautiful souls, and AKA pile number 4. You guys are the last and mighty final pile for this reading when it comes to what your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year, wherever you might be in the timeline of life. And no matter where you are, no matter what month you are in, doesn't matter. Whatever the upcoming year is for you, this is what you got to hear in terms of what your soul's purpose is going to be for that upcoming year, all right? And when it comes to the card that helped you select this pile, known as the Castle card in the archetype deck, this is already clearing up a bunch of different pathways on where this reading can lead us to in regards to what your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year. Pile number 4, the Castle card is an archetype that has a lot to do with riches, materialism, money, physical pleasure of some kind. However, when it comes to riches and fame and glory, sometimes it might not always be as it seems. When it comes to castles, they are designed to keep things out of the castle and all the beauty and glory is on the inside of the walls. What can be hard about this is sometimes loneliness can set in. What can be hard about this is sometimes things might not always be as it seems. When people are looking at a castle, they think of all these things that include recognition, success, and prosperity, but they don't look at the person. They don't look on the in. I feel like for you, your soul is very pure. Your soul is very delicate and potent, and it can get easily saturated with ideas surrounding you that can start to make you second guess yourself on what your soul is longing for. When it comes to what I just shared with you, we're really definitely going to have to take a look at what other oracle cards you guys have, because this is the type of archetype that needs to be connected with a bunch of other cards in order for us to really get the full picture of what's going on in terms of what your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year. This can lead us to a lot of different scenarios. With that being said, I'm just going to slide your card out to the side over here. We're going to dive into the oracle cards first. Honestly, each pile that I've done for this reading so far has been kind of a mix. It's been different for each pile and how I laid it out. I had a plan right before I start every pick a card reading I do on this channel. I always have a plan. I'm like, what am I going to do? I had a plan, right? The plan never works. Feels like source always wants to like take the lead and like make me do things differently for each pile, right? So we're going to see how it goes. What I was planning on doing is having one row of tarot cards after we look at your oracle to show us the what in terms of what it is your soul's purpose is in this upcoming year. And then the second row we're going to look at is how you can embody your soul's purpose for the upcoming year. We're going to see what happens because, for example, pile number 3, I just did one row and it gave us the how, and then the oracle cards were the what. So I don't know what's going to happen. Let us see. So let us get into this reading. I bet you guys are just as excited as I am to see what this is going to be all about here. So when it comes to a very first card, it's a prism deck I have. You have ideation, idealism, ideas, ideation. I haven't heard that word in such a long time. Ideation. For some reason, this didn't happen to anyone else but in anyone else's pile, but I am feeling like root chakra pull, a huge one, like your roots, going back to your roots, something to do with remembering who you are. Who are you? Pile number 4, who are you? Okay, next up for an astrology card, we have debilitated with the subtext discomfort in the number 14. When you add 1 and 4 together, it equals a 5. Is there an inner conflict going on? And when it comes to a debilitated planet or a debilitated placement in your astrology chart, this is what it's referring to. It is pretty an uncomfortable thing to have. Perhaps you are feeling torn internally right now, and this upcoming year is meant to help you have a self-actualization moment that's gonna help clear this up for you. I am feeling like you're kind of lost. You have like a security thing, you have something for comfort that you lean on right now, but it's not necessarily something that is a healthy, what is the word? Like, you know how people love comfort food or something? Like, you have a thing that you go to help you, give you like comfort and feel safe on the inside every now and then. It's not something that is necessarily beneficial to you, to your well-being or self-growth, or I want to say mental health, but it does you a disservice in some way. Let us continue. Let's keep that thought to myself. For a sacred traveler card, you have first light, beginning a new cycle. For some reason, this is ringing a bell in correlation to the ideation card you got prior. So maybe there is, like I said, a self-actualization. There's something that's gonna come around in this upcoming year for you that's gonna make you want to take a call to journey, do a journey of some kind. Where you're at right now isn't feeding your soul as much as you want to feel fulfilled. I'm looking, there's like a little nest here. I don't know if you guys see it with the eggs. And I feel like you're going through like a rebirthing moment. At least maybe in this upcoming year, your soul's purpose is to go through a rebirth of some kind. When I look at the feather, I'm thinking of air. When I think of air, I think of travel. So maybe you're going to do some sort of journeying. Could be physical, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. Let's continue for another astrology card. You have the number 49, which is the number 13, and I'm feeling like there's a death. But then I think of 4, which reminds me of your roots, because it's a stable number, a grounding number, and it's in the 11th house of community. Wow, okay. This is already giving me a lot of different stories here. Innovation, when you think of the 11th house in astrology, you think of newness, you think of rebellion, you think of going against the grain and letting your hair out in the wind and letting yourself be the rebel you were always meant to be. Okay, very specific channel message. Some of you guys might have inherited some sort of family business or gotten some sort of inheritance or are meant to follow in some sort of footsteps of some kind. Or there was a plan laid out for you, but it's not the plan you want for yourself, and your soul knows that, even though you know this is something that can help you in some way, maybe financially or give you security or maybe feel accepted by your family a little bit more. There's something there that you gotta do. You don't wanna do it. You know that your soul is not craving that. And your soul's purpose in this upcoming year, from what I'm seeing right off the bat, could actually be to figure this out. Go explore. Go embark on that and be a rebel for a little bit. Take that risk and go find yourself again. Because the version of you that you are now, pile number 4, it feels like it's a version of you that was constructed by things around you so that you can end up a certain way or have a certain lifestyle. I don't know what it is. I'm hearing reputation. Like there's an expectation put on you, a reputation that was built, but it's nothing that you want to fit the mold of. Like you don't fit the mold of it. You know that. Your heart doesn't align with it. Let's keep going. For another prism card, we have cleanse. Yes, it does feel like you need to go through some sort of rebirthing process. And when I think about the cleanse card, it's giving me this energy of somebody who needs to be true to themselves, but in order to be true to themselves, they need to clear away all that ick that was built on top of them. Your last 2 oracle cards, pile number 4. For a sacred creator card, we have follow through. Wow, this is beautiful. And then we have the number 23, which adds to a 5. That inner conflict, the 2 5s here. Follow through. Maybe this is something you want. Your heart is asking you to go somewhere right now, pile number 4. And if that is a confirmation for you, like something I'm saying really aligns, I'm gonna tell you right now, go do it. Okay, this is weird, but I feel like you guys are at like the breaking point of like signing your soul away to something. And I'm getting nervous thinking about it because I don't know what else what else, like there's so many different ways this can be like dissected, guys. So send me a comment down below if you feel called to share your story. I would love to hear it. I'm always here. I'm always going to respond to anyone who wants to share. But what I am feeling like, it's like an itch you can't scratch and you want to so bad. And I'm just hearing like, you got to go do it, guys. Come on.
And this upcoming year, you're gonna have a beautiful opportunity to do just that. Maybe your New Year's resolution can even be about that. Whenever you celebrate New Year's, right? Everyone has their own time that they love to celebrate it. But lastly, this is weird, but I'm also hearing like some of you guys might be watching this before your birthday, so you're seeing your birthday as a new year for yourself. So happy almost birthday for some of you guys. But there is definitely like you creating a new version of you that is much, much, much closer to the version of you that you always dreamt of being. For the last card, we have Gates of Triumph, Success expands in your life. Wow, this is so beautiful. And then, what is this? Is this a sunset or a sunrise? I can't tell, guys. I feel like this is meant to be either or. So I want you guys to see this as such. I see this as an ending to create a brand new beginning. And there's a lot of beauty here because this keeps showing up. Look, beginning a new cycle, Gates of Triumph. You guys are about to embark on some sort of beautiful soul journey. Oh my God, I'm so excited for you guys. Let's go, be that pilgrim. That's a joke. But you guys are like in this process of just finding yourself. Stop being ashamed of it. Stop being embarrassed. Stop being afraid. No matter what age you are listening to this pile number 4, if you are having that call, there's a reason why you're having that call. Don't doubt it. Don't shove it down. Who cares? Let's get the tarot cards out because this is too straight to the point that there's really nothing else for me to dissect here. And I want to see if the tarot gives us some more detail on that, okay? So let us take a look to add in more to the story here in terms of what your soul's purpose is for this upcoming year. What is pile number 4, soul's purpose in this upcoming year? For the back of the deck card, you got 5 cards out here for this first row. You have the 10 of Fire, also known as the 10 of Wands in traditional tarot. Wow, this is just adding emphasis to what I shared with you guys earlier. Like, this upcoming year, your soul's purpose, burn those bridges with things that you know do not emotionally fulfill you in any way, shape, or form. Let it go. You know that that's not what your heart wants for you. You know that you want something more than that. And I am hearing that some of you guys are in a good financial situation specifically. Money doesn't buy you happiness. Like, that saying exists for a reason. And I feel like you know that already. Maybe you've had some sort of realization about that. You don't want to admit it to yourself. Maybe you're afraid of taking the leap because of that thing specifically. But then remember, fear can either be the thing that helps push us forward or it halts our growth entirely, and you have to make that decision. You have the free will here to decide that for yourself, right? I can tell you all you want to hear about your soul's purpose this upcoming year, but are you going to take the call is the thing that matters, right? So, and secondly too, this definitely might have to do with a person, pile number 4, because I am forgetting that the subtext here in the 11th house card is community. Maybe you feel like, oh, I told you this earlier already, the misfit energy, like you feel misplaced. I'm seeing a labyrinth in my head. Like, it's as if people are putting you in some sort of labyrinth to get you stuck for longer in this point in your life. That's not fair to you because it's like your soul already knows 100% what it wants, and maybe you've actually tried to confide in somebody about this inner struggle you're going through or internal conflict you've been experiencing, and they were just saying, well, no, honey, or whatever, whoever they are saying this, and they're kind of just telling you to, well, are you sure? Are you sure about that? Did you think about this, or did you think about that? Or they're like trying to dangle a carrot in front of your face, trying to make you get distracted about what your heart's really wanting. It's like, this is the way you're supposed to go, and they're like grabbing you and they're saying, no, like, did you consider this? Did you see that? Like, what about if you look at it this way? It's messing with your head. That's not fair to you guys. I really feel like you guys are being a little bit manipulated right now, pile number 4. For some of you, may not be for everyone. Okay, let's take a look at the rest of your cards and see what adds into this story, right? So for the first card, we have, oh my God, guys, I told you, right? I told you, right? I don't know if you guys heard me, but when I was looking at the 11th house, I said the number 9 and 4 add to 13, and I said death card, and I said transformation. Well, you got the death card, and it says transformation. Guys, it doesn't say death here, it says transformation. Can you focus, please, camera? Focus. Technology is great, but it can also be such a pain. If it just focused, would make my life great. Make me very happy. Okay,
You guys got transformation, death card. I think she's looking, oh my God, there's a phoenix rising from the ashes. Pile number 4, I am so excited for you. I don't know why I feel so like excited. Like I got ants in my pants right now. Did not feel that like with any of the other piles. I'm just like, oh my God, like yes. New beginnings are always so exciting, right? It's so exciting. Okay. But it's also scary. And I want to validate that for some of you guys, whoever is feeling some anxiety right now, because there is anxiety. I know there's anxiety because sometimes when it comes to excitement, we'll have trouble being able to decide if we're excited about something or anxious about something. But sometimes anxiety can disguise itself as excitement. Excitement can disguise itself as anxiety. So, you know, try to honor your feelings for whatever's coming up, okay? I hold space for you guys. Sending you guys a lot of unconditional love. I feel so blessed that I get to do this reading for you guys. Let's continue. We have the Fool card. Wow, literally pile number 4, I can literally just slide all these cards out of the way. You already know all these things that are just in sync with each other. I know if you guys have been paying attention to your reading so far that this is trippy. Literally, new beginning is written all over your reading right now. That is your soul's purpose for this upcoming year. I feel like I don't even need these cards, but let's do it, okay? Next up. We have the Temptation card, also known as the Devil, and this makes so much sense with the Castle card. It feels like something is trying to mess with your head heavily right now, pile number 4, to remind you of the material world and the value and importance of it or something. Like, remember that this is the way to live life, or this is what you're meant to do. And it's like, why are you telling me what I'm meant to do? My soul exists for a reason. You have free will, you have autonomy. You're separate from this person. You have your own brain, right? Your own heart, your own soul. Who are they to tell you that? And it feels like someone's trying to really mess with you. Like I said, dangling the carrot. Ugh. There's something you want to experience that you cannot experience if you stay where you are. And what you want to experience is something that might feel like the complete opposite of the lifestyle you have now or the way of living that you do now. But it's like there's a curiosity here that's eating away at you. I don't know if you've seen it in like movies. There's something that inspired this in you to want to go do this endeavor or this hunger, whatever. This new beginning was inspired by something. Okay, last 2 cards. We have the Page of Earth, also known as the Page of Pentacles. Yes, physically, like you have an opportunity to go on some sort of journeying. I don't know, like, do you want to move? Like, do you want to move? Do you want to travel? Do you want to live alone? Like, are some of you guys like trying to move out of something and like rediscover yourself? It just feels like you guys are on some sort of self-discovery journey, and this time you really want to get to know who you are. You don't want to get to know the person, the version of you that the world molded you into becoming. You really want to just know who you are underneath all the gunk. You're in a very unfair position though, and I don't know why I'm saying that. It just feels like people misinterpret how stressful the situation you're at in life can actually be. And sometimes you might feel extremely misunderstood. That's not fair. Everyone deserves sympathy and you deserve to feel understood. Because of that though, that's another thing that is kind of driving you to want to go do this new beginning. Last card you have here is the Chariot card. Yes, the number 7, wow. Pile number 4, if you guys do want to do that traveling or go some sort of adventure, this is the card that is 100% confirming that. And what is so beautiful here, pile number 4, you are the first pile that is ruled by major arcana cards. You got the Death card, the Fool card, the Devil card, and the Chariot. The only one card that is the court cards is the Page. You are already planning in this. You've been sitting in this. You've been daydreaming about it. This is something that your soul is craving because you already are in some weird process within you without even realizing it. I feel like this might be unintentional. This is a subconscious transformation happening behind the scenes within you where you're energetically already changing your frequency. But the more you think about it, the more you dream about it, it's like the more you, without realizing it, you're actually letting the soul sweep you off your feet and take you into this thing that you're hungry for, where you know the true emotional fulfillment is. And I'm hearing that it eats at you. It does mess with your head because, like I said, there's other things trying to hold you down or hold you back from doing it. And so you're like in a seesaw effect in your head where like what outweighs the other thing more. Maybe you're a very analytical person, so you've been weighing out the pros and cons of this. I'm gonna be honest with you. Pile number 4, with everything we choose to do in life, there's always gonna be some sort of thing we gotta be willing to sacrifice or let go of. No matter what a wish is that someone might have, like a wish wish that they want to fulfill in their life, they also need to acknowledge that they're going to be giving up something else because they're getting that wish fulfillment. There's always a cause and effect to everything in life. You need to remember that fear that's holding you back, that's always going to be there. The worrying about the what if this or what if that, that's also always going to be there. You're not really going to get to know it if you never try. But I'm telling you for certain that your soul is so hungry for this that in this upcoming year, if you don't take that chance for yourself, you are going to 100% regret it. And it might actually lead you to some sort of, I'm not a doctor, okay? This is for entertainment purposes only, but I am feeling like it could lead you to some sort of depression or funk, some issue where you're not gonna be happy with the version of yourself you will become. You'll feel mediocre within yourself and you want to shine, you want to feel warm in your heart and soul, and you don't feel like that right now. So whatever this hunger and drive is, you got to do it. It's just like scratch the itch because you will never find out if you don't try. You will never get to experience this if you don't try. And at the end of the day, at the end of it all, pile number 4, no matter what this brings to your life, if you do decide to go through with it, recognize that this is only helping you grow more. You're experiencing the life experience you wanted. You're learning what it means to be a true human by experiencing all these different things. And you're wisening up through it. You're gonna get to learn things that maybe people in the area in life that you're at now will never get to experience because they decided to stick to the program and you're wanting to get out of the program and make your own. Does that make sense? Listen to those calls because I'm telling you right now, when you're on your deathbed, the thing you're gonna look back at the most are the times when you listen to your heart. And you will regret it if you don't follow this, you know what I mean? In terms of how you can embody this, let's see what the cards have to say. I don't know what else you can do to embody it because it really just feels like you just gotta take it, like you know what you gotta do and you gotta just do it. But let us see if the cards can give us any more possible insight on how you can embody this further, okay? How can pile number 4 embody their soul's purpose for this upcoming year? Pile number 4, the back of the deck, we have the 4 of air. Okay, I already understand what they're asking, and this, I'm happy that I pulled out some additional cards to give you some more insight on how you can embody this instead of just saying go do it, you know, because I want you to feel like you have something to leave this reading with and get to work on, you know. The back of the deck energy is the 4 of air, also known as the 4 of swords. Right off the bat, in terms of how you can embody your soul's purpose, pile number 4, you are being encouraged to go inside yourself. Do some journaling. Take some time to be alone. I don't know if you are in a position where you can actually be alone or if people can leave you alone, but I am hearing you got to find a way to do that. If you have a car, like stay in the car or something. Like say you're going to the bank and then just sit in the car and like sit with yourself. Like I feel like you need to stay in your energy. It feels like there's people that are literally messing with your head enough where you're around them long enough where you don't even know what your energy is versus what their energy is, that they're kind of smearing all over you. So you are being very much encouraged in terms of how you can embody your soul's purpose even further for this upcoming year. Right now, what you need to be doing is trying to have as much alone time as possible to sit with what you're feeling. That's going to help you come to terms with how badly you want this. It's going to give you some more clarity on the why behind why you're feeling like this, and it might actually help you be more brutally honest about what's going on around you. I'm also hearing, and I send so much love out to any beautiful souls listening to this that have experienced this, but I feel like maybe you might have been gaslit horrifically, and that has really made you think you're crazy, made you start doubting these feelings, these gut feelings you're having to go do these things for yourself, what your intuition's asking you to do. It's like you shut it down because you doubt it. You don't know how to trust yourself right now because of these people in your life or these things. I don't know, maybe it could even be like the world you live in and like what you were taught growing up. It doesn't even need to be like the people you're surrounded by right now. It could be how you were raised and the belief systems, the core values they were trying to implement into you. There's a lot of different things. I'm also hearing very specific. Family was like important and they made you say family first always. So now it's like you have trouble putting yourself first now because of it. And you guys got to remember too, when you're a parent, we have a kid and we should never have a kid for our own self-gain. We should have a kid because we want to bring life into this world and see them happy. If you feel as if your upbringing had something to do with you fulfilling someone else's desires, but it had nothing to do with what you wanted, they never asked you, what do you want enough? Growing up, that's how you know that there's something wrong. There's something off. And that's something that is suspicious. If you feel like what I just shared resonates with you, pile number 4, you need to go be on your own for a little bit. You need to take some time to yourself, get a pen and paper. And honestly, if you don't even know how to start it, I have a video. I recommend you guys check it out. It is a video that can tell you step by step on how to get into the journaling. It's in, I'm trying to remember the playlist because I don't want to dive into it because I give you like actual visuals. I'm a visual person, so I feel like the video will help you better than my little explanation of it. And we still have other cards to get into. It is, I think it's reclaiming your roots. So it's a root chakra video. It says step 1, reclaim your roots, and it's about how to heal yourself from the inside out and using the chakra system as a guide. But that video goes into detail on some journaling techniques that I did and I still do sometimes that helped me heal myself from the inside out, you know, and become who I am today. Highly recommend you check that out because I feel like there's something there that can 100% help you. If you have no clue how to start this, like being by yourself and like what you should do during that time alone, maybe being alone is hard for you. Maybe your thoughts are too loud, you're trying to tune them down. The journaling will be an instrument that you can use to help harness your energy into something so that it doesn't stay whirling around in your head. Let us take a look at these cards now. So for the first card, we have the Ace of Air, also known as the Ace of Swords. Yeah, like you need to find how you feel and ask yourself, what do I want? How do I feel? It is showing me with the Ace of Air, like you are being asked to give yourself that clarity. Don't look for that on the outside. Don't ask people what they think is best. Ask yourself, what do you think is best for you? That's what the being alone will help you do. Next up, we have the 5 of Fire. Yes, okay. This is the inner conflict, 100%. You got to sort through that stuff though, and you got to recognize that if there's conflict internally going on, it's because you're not feeling heard. There's a part of you that wants to be heard and seen and valued and validated right now, but the only person that can give it to them is you. And that's when you do that alone time and doing the reflecting. That's what's going to benefit. Next up, again, we have another 5. You like I said, 5 of water. So we have the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Cups. I'm telling you right now, pile number 4, really, I don't even feel like I need these cards flipped over, but we're gonna keep going. It's just emphasizing how trapped and alone you actually feel right now. You really do feel alone. Like you really feel like no one is trying to hear you out. You really feel misunderstood. You feel like you're being unseen. Like, yes, you're a tangible physical human being that you can touch, like someone can touch, right? But they're not trying to look behind the eyes. They're not trying to get deeper with you. That is so unfair. Give that to yourself. That is how you can embody your soul's purpose for this upcoming year. Last 2 cards, yes. Ugh. It's just emphasizing your pain. Like I said, I don't think that they can give me anything else. You have the 3 of Air, also known as the 3 of Swords. Okay, I think what it's trying to prepare you for is this self-realization. You're gonna have a huge realization and it's gonna hurt. Maybe this reading is the thing that's kind of being the catalyst to help you realize some things that are hard for you to have admitted to yourself before watching this. Whatever the situation is, pile number 4, know that that pain is a temporary thing. It's something that wasn't meant for you and that it hurts now because that's all you knew. It doesn't mean that that's all you're supposed to know though. You get to fill in the rest of your story moving forward. This is in the past now. Every second that goes by is a new past that's being created, as well as a brand new future and a new present, etc. So you get to choose where you want to go in life. In terms of how you can figure that out and honor your soul's purpose is through being alone, doing the journaling, doing that self-reflecting, and being okay with not being okay for a little bit of time, because this is going to be something that's going to be hard to kind of swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow. This is something that I don't feel like is easy to come to terms with. Maybe this is like even a spiritual awakening that's very intense. Spiritual awakenings are not fun, okay? If anyone knows what I'm talking about, they are not fun. Anyone who emphasizes, oh my God, they're so cool, I'm a hippie, what about? They don't get what they're talking about, okay? Just fun little thing I wanted to put out there. Spiritual awakenings are not fun things to go through. Just know that if maybe right now everything I'm sharing was ringing a bell and you're like, this is the first time I ever thought about this and you're really validating it, just know you're not crazy. You might feel a little bit crazy right now because of the gaslighting that was happening in your past. So just know you are not crazy. You are valid. Your feelings are valid. How you feel about the situation is valid. It was not fair to you and it is not your fault for feeling like this or being born this way. Like, you are not a failure for having your own set of beliefs and your own values and your own desires, okay? Separate from anyone else's. So don't feel ashamed of it. Don't feel guilty. Let those feelings be there, observe them, befriend them, say thank you for being there. It means that you have compassion. It's not a bad thing, but don't let them take over your life. Rewind this part of the video as many times as you need to keep hearing what I'm saying. It needs to get in your head, okay? With that being said, I do feel like too, mantras, writing them down that will help. It's something with repetition I'm hearing will help you. It's something about rewiring, because you guys tend to suffer with a lot of intrusive thoughts, I feel like, and it really messes with you, and it is because of the gaslighting or the manipulation that happened in your past. For the very last card, pile number 4. We have the 7 of Earth. Yes, okay, this is so beautiful. So for the last thing in terms of how you can embody your soul's purpose for this upcoming year, this is also known as the 7 of Pentacles, is to honor how you're feeling right now. What's funny, you got 2 sevens underneath each other. It is about a spiritual awakening. It's about trusting in the process when things are very unclear, but it's also about like a spiritual awareness of some kind when all this is taking you somewhere better for your higher good. It's something about when things feel like a collapse, something is very hurt, a lot of pain is going on in your life and you don't know why. Sevens are there to remind you that this is all happening for you to get to where you're meant to be. Remember that all this stuff is necessary. It was necessary for you to reawaken the true potential you truly hold, the things you're meant to truly do. All those things get unraveled as time goes on, but it's only if you allow the band-aid to come off and let it heal, breathe through it, that alone time, keep the clarity, keep reminding yourself what it is that drive that pulled you to do that in the first place. You need to be a little bit more compassionate with yourself, stay patient with yourself. Know that when it comes to healing in general and realizing a lot of things when we go inside ourselves, we need to be more patient. Who are we to demand clarity from ourselves right away, when most of our life was lived in illusion, in disconnection from our truth? Don't expect things to come in the snap of your fingers. These things might unravel very slowly, and you need to hold space for those things, because at the end of the day, it's the consistency that matters the most, and continuing to show up for yourself during this process, so that when you have enough drive and ambition and desire to go out and embark on the new journey this upcoming year for yourself when it comes to your soul's purpose, you will be able to do it with a clear head and the right intentions set in place. But the only way to do that is to embody what I shared now. This reading was very, very big, very, very intense, very, very beautiful. I want to let you know I've gone through a very similar situation in my life. I am the misfit. I do feel like the black sheep of my family. You know, I'm a facilitator for deep healing, for Christ's sake. That's a title that is very out there and eccentric and different. So I'm just letting you know, like, you're talking to somebody who took that risk and look where they are today. I'm so happy with what I do. And I do doubt myself every once in a while, but as long as I know I got my own back and I have those moments where I go inside and I remind myself my why, and I tell myself, you got this, and I tell myself it will only not work out for me if I give up. That is what helps me keep going. And it's also because I just feel like I'm meant to do these things to help you guys become the best version of yourself. You know, that's the reason why I started this YouTube channel. I started this because I wanted to make something online that I wish I had when I was going through the worst parts in my healing. The parts in my life where I felt the most alone in, I wanted to create a channel where anyone who is going through something similar can come to and be like, wow, I don't feel alone anymore. I want you guys to feel supported here, okay? So just know that this is a safe space. Please give this reading a thumbs up if it resonated with you. Again, check out that video on reclaiming your roots. I do feel like that will really help you in terms of how to start taking some steps to do the journaling and all that, because it really is all about reclaiming your roots. I told you right when I first started this video, this was giving me root chakra energy. I just feel like a seed needs to be planted so you know what steps to start taking forward. With that being said, I send you guys so much unconditional love. Please do not give up on this dream or this vision or this hunger, this feeling that your soul is driving you towards. Listen to it, trust in it. I know it is so scary, so scary, but honestly, if you even feel called to write a letter to yourself, to your future self, or write a letter to source,
That might also help as well. I feel like you need a little bit of a sign. Expect a sign to come. I feel like with the 2 sevens coming through, I do feel like you're gonna get a sign eventually. It's just, you gotta wait for it to come to you. This isn't something that you need to look for. It's gonna just show up and you'll know what it is. You'll know what the sign is when it shows up. But it will only come after you start actually taking steps to embody your soul's purpose for this upcoming year, okay? So again, like I said, definitely take that time away to be alone. Prioritize this for the next couple weeks, okay? Have a beautiful rest of your day, and hopefully I'll see you in my next pick a card readings to come. Bye.